voices in your head. With every twist and every turn, pulling every single thread. I may have 1,000 names, but in the end they're all the same. I play whatever role you need to guide your way. Welcome to the Matrix, where I am your god. It may be a simulation, but I ain't no fraud. I play your friend and your foe, design your joy and your woe. And if the red dress caught your eye, I'm doing something right. Welcome to my world. Let's see who comes out to play tonight.
Oh yeah, I see. I can see Kat's stuff. Yeah. Okay.
I need to know where you are.
We need to know.
Rock or
what
rock
did you refer to yourself as?
We're live.
Was the
Small
start of the
idiot.
stream?
That's perfect. That's perfect. That's the way to do it.
Countdown.
Yes.
What up?
Back to
We're
Wyrdgard.
supposed to have a countdown, but welcome back. Yes.
It's been a second. Yeah. Hi everyone. We're for the win. A Wednesday D&D actual play, and we weren't here last week, but we were here the week before, so that's better, right? We're improving.
I like that you have
Hopefully.
to drop weekly from the description.
I did, because we haven't done a good job of that lately. But that's life. We got stuff. Sometimes ceilings collapse, and you're just an old paladin trying to go back in for your granddaughter, and it doesn't work out.
Oh, that hurts.
Rafen.
Stop bringing up old emotional scars. Stop it. Stop it.
All right, everybody. I'm Nick. I'm your dungeon master. We are in for another eventful evening in Wyrdgard. I'm joined by 4 lovely players. To introduce your character today, I want you to imagine that they are at the movies. What are they snacking on? Give you a second to think. For example, I am popcorn is the only thing, and that is maybe 30% of the time. And it's only if I'm real hungry, because I can't control myself with popcorn, though, and I'm going to eat it all in the first 10 minutes of the movie. So let's start with Scott.
Hi, I'm Scott. I play Quinn, Teorin Wizard, I think at the movies. So I suspect that Quinn's got a bit of a sweet tooth, but it would be for something that he thinks is healthy. So like Raisinets.
Oh,
Chocolate-covered raisins, which I actually personally hate, but I can't imagine him eating any. But like popcorn maybe, but you've already taken that. But he's not going to go for something that's like gummy bears or anything like that. So Raisinets.
Commitment to character here, Scott. Commitment to character. I haven't had a Raisinette in probably 25 years, so
Me
I don't
either.
know how I feel
hate
about them now. But let's see. Anybody do better or worse than that? Let's find out. Up next we have Ruby.
Hi, I play Nosh, and Nosh would maybe buy like a small bag of popcorn at the theater, supporting the theater, but in his pockets are going to be snacks that he made himself that are like homemade brownies, like homemade chocolates, maybe a pack of his favorite gummy bears that he's got like hidden in his pocket. I'm not going to tell you what kind of brownies. I'm going to let you imagine what kind of brownies those could be.
And I'm hearing brownies and gummies.
He's got
Party in his pocket.
Yes. And then probably like a bottle of water hidden in his coat pocket as he strolls in with that under his arm. Because movie theaters always seem to be really cold. So, yeah.
He's always wearing a coat.
Yeah, Nosh is never without snacks.
Of course
Always
not.
has
That would be foolish of him. Thanks, Ruby. Next up, we have Smash.
All right. Harlowe probably has the taste buds of a 14-year-old. She's like
Cool.
family size bag of Sour Patch Kids, Mountain Dew icy. I don't know what else would give you an absolute stomach ache, but whatever it is, she's eating it. Probably
Perfect.
not your typical like popcorn soda. It's sweets on sweets on sweets.
Makes sense. Gotta feel something, but she doesn't have a lot of teeth, right? So, or maybe she does. She's gonna rot them out.
Oh, why you gotta remind me? That's how she lost it.
It's my job. That's how she lost.
Nothing epic, just fucking cavities.
I mean, she hasn't brushed in over a week, so as far as I know, at least. Thanks, Snash. Last up, we have Matilda.
Hi, I'm Matilda. I play Catriona. I believe Catriona would probably be the one at the movie theater to like order the full pizza, or like multiple glizzies, like full meal, committing to full meal.
Yeah.
At
Now,
the
does
movie theater.
Catriona go to the movie theaters that also serve alcohol?
Probably.
You like order from your seat and they bring you a full.
Oh, the like scan the QR code and everything. Sure. I don't think Catriona cares about the movie theater that much.
Excellent. So there for the food, not for the movie. All right, everybody.
Let's be honest, she's there because somebody else wanted her to be there.
Fair. Let's recap, moviegoers. Last time we played, you all had a very tense and explosive encounter with 3 individuals. One of them we found out was Gion, one of the siblings of Nosh, attempting to extort articles of transit and then later gold and valuables. And in the process of the collection, shit popped off. You got into this fight. It became apparent that the explosive vest on Gion and the crocodilian terrorist were live and controlled by Slash, the Batfolk Namasi, who seemed to kind of be their leader. And ultimately, they all died, but Gion in explosive fashion as he frantically tried to defuse his vest unsuccessfully. And you all were kind of dealing with the aftermath of that. 10 civilians here died, as well as the 3 terrorists. And in that time afterward, Catriona and Calliope decided to spend the night together. You buried the box that Relton was using for the trial and settled down for the night in a lovely tiny hut courtesy of Quinn. But in the night, Harlowe and Nosh found themselves back in the clutches of Mama from our in-person sessions. And Mama said that she had a simple task: square up what was she felt owed to her after cutting off her supply of what she called food. All she asked was that you take the box, put her Black Lotus token on it, and deliver it to a place where people would have need of it, and of the services like you found in Stillwater. You ultimately said, well, we'll think about it, and as a show of her strength and her power, she said, okay, cool. And you all, under the force of her fey magic, are now exhausted, have one level of exhaustion that, despite Nosh's exhaustion alleviating concoction, would not go away. You've woken You are still in this encampment. It is, I don't know, early morning, late morning. I don't know what you all are doing for rising, but this is where you are. Take it away, gang.
What are you doing, Kat?
Catriona woke up very early. So by the time anybody else is awake, Kat is already back at the other tent, like cooking breakfast or something, like starting a fire, like sharpening her weapon or something. She's already back.
Sharpening the hammer.
She's got daggers.
Her chisel. I don't.
She's got
how
daggers.
Does that work?
She's cleaning her axe, her hammer.
So
what is it?
To
What's
sharpen
the
a weapon, does she just rub it on her arm?
Oh dear.
Her thigh. It's more sensual.
Her thigh.
Does she pull out like a perfectly square block and like set it down, and then just it's like a part of her, and then she just puts it back on herself?
Oh,
And it just
does
absorbs?
Cat? Wait, does Cat shit bricks?
Well, she doesn't need to eat.
Speaking of Minecraft, do you shit blocks?
Nosh will still try to feed you.
2 minutes in, already off the rails.
Yep.
It's fine.
Not even, like 30 seconds.
Quinn is going to go out among these others, which, by the way, once he leaves this space, the tiny hut goes bye-bye.
Hut's gone.
So Quinn's going to go and just sort of talk to some of the others around here, see what he can find out about. Is there anybody selling anything? Is there anybody with any information about Stonebridge? Just kind of milling about.
Okay, yeah, you see that the dead have been tended to. They've been loaded up onto a wagon and are no longer in this central space. People are milling about. There's still a sober sort of stoic quality in the air, but people are picking themselves back up, and there are still along the roads, a few dozen vendors as well as individuals throughout, and so certainly you'd be able to find people with information and wares. Quinn, depends what you're looking for.
I think I'd be specifically looking for anybody with magic supplies, scrolls, spell books, things like that.
Perfect. You go ahead and roll a perception check.
I remembered to do it as me.
I'm proud of you.
Thanks. 15.
Yeah, as you move around the encampment, checking what people are hawking, you see that there's a variety of goods. A lot of them are very mundane items, but eventually you do spy a Namasi woman. She is some sort of not sure if she's a rat, a squirrel, some sort of rodent, but she has a very small collection of scrolls in what otherwise is textiles. And go ahead and roll an insight check.
Nine.
As you see her talking with a customer, she seems very animated, but when the customer is asking for what she has, she doesn't mention any spell scrolls, and you're not sure what to make of that.
But I see scrolls.
Yeah, you clearly see what would certainly be spell scrolls.
Hi there. I'm Quinn. You may remember me from the people that saved you all just a little while ago. I was wondering if you could tell me
Thank
what
God
it is you're
you were
selling.
here. Oh well, I mean, you look rather nice, but if you wanted to perhaps get a few yards of something a bit more colorful, I've got a few. Well, what do you think? Amber, is that your cut? I think it is. And she holds up just some cloth nearby and putting it up next to your arm. I'm not the greatest seamstress myself, but I have some connections in Stonebridge. We could get you looking really fresh, really suave. No time.
I mean, that's intriguing. I kind of like the robes I'm wearing, but I was wondering what else you've got here. I noticed you've got some scrolls as well.
Oh, parchment. Yeah. You're welcome to take a look. Honestly, I took it as a barter a couple of days ago, and I don't even know what I have, if I'm being honest with you.
Oh, well, I can certainly help you with that. I can help you figure out, if there's any value to these.
Oh, would you?
Sure. All right, I'm just going to peruse the scrolls.
Okay. You're seeing some that are very clearly in the arcane school of magic. You're seeing a few that look unfamiliar in that they are referencing more like theological practices as opposed to the more like hard science of arcane magic. But you do see a few that certainly seem like they would be something for you. They're not labeled, but if you spent a little bit of time with them, you could probably decipher enough to know what spells are contained within.
So are you someone who understands magic at all?
Oh, gods, no.
Can you read?
Yes.
Very good.
Can you?
I can, yeah. My profession is actually in the study of scrolls and magic. So
Oh, it is.
I just want it is, yeah, and I just want you to know that you do have some scrolls here that have some value.
I do.
Yeah, there looks to be, I don't know, help me out
I
with
thought
a
it was just
number here.
scrap paper. By your count, it looks like there's about 6 that are actual spell scrolls.
Yeah, you have about 6 scrolls here that seem to have some value, so you shouldn't, treat these lightly. And I would
Okay.
consider, getting a good value for your money for the scrolls.
What would that be?
Well, it's a little difficult for me to tell without true study, but these could really be scrolls of any level, of any complexity. So, but what I would say is they do have some innate value to them.
So I should take them into Stonebridge and see if I can find a buyer, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, you have a buyer right in front of you. This is really my stock in trade. So I would be curious to see, what you would be willing to part with these scrolls for.
Well, gosh, now I feel like I need to get an appraisal. Is that something that you would be willing to do? Because if you could appraise these scrolls, I'd give you one of them.
Well, I'd have to take a look for a little bit of time just to discern, the complexity of the magic involved. But I could do that. I could take some time.
Oh, that would be exquisite. Take your time. I'm Marley, by the way. Your name is?
I'm Quinn. Great to meet you, Marley. Am I even in front of the right NPC, by the way?
It doesn't matter map-wise right now.
All right, very good.
While Quinn is doing this, what are the rest of you doing?
I am talking to Harlowe about last night.
Yeah, makes sense.
What about last night?
I am so tired. I did not sleep well at all last night, and that dream with that creature again. What do we do? I'm at a loss on how we should handle this. Do you have any thoughts, Harlowe?
Do you think we should just, give her cat back or something?
No, I don't want to.
I don't mean that. I don't mean
do
that.
anything like that. Your sarcasm needs work, Harlowe. We're gonna have to work on that later.
I learned the skill from you all.
I'll give you some more lessons next time we camp. You'll come across way more persuasive and sarcastic.
Well, I think we have a couple options. Right?
No, yeah.
We could give her what she wants. Maybe find people who deserve it.
Yeah, there's always that option.
Or
I
we
mean,
need to find a way to kill her.
yeah, but yeah, that's fair. We almost had her last time. It was just a matter of the situation.
I mean, I feel stronger than last time, so maybe.
I mean, I just worry that. I mean, I know killing her would be the final solution for it, but if we were to give her what she wants, wouldn't it just encourage her to ask for more? You know what I mean? Just like continuing to bother us. Ugh.
Yeah.
Today's going to be so rough. It's not even just the exhaustion from that. It's just Dion's gone, and I don't know how to handle that right now. I'm not even processing it.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, he's not completely gone.
What do you mean?
I mean, he's still around you.
I mean, I will always carry him with me, but like he's not physically around me anymore. I mean, he would have gone.
I mean, kind of.
I forgot.
Hold
about
on,
this
wait.
bit.
You did something previously to someone. You wouldn't have happened to have done something when I wasn't looking.
You might have been looking. I didn't try and do it like sneakily. But
No, I'm not actually mad about it.
No.
Truthfully. I mean,
what
I don't know a lot about it, Harlowe. I mean, I don't know a lot about.
I
what
would
we
like
can
to
do.
try and find a way to get him back for you, if we can.
Really?
So if we can hold on to a little piece of him, then maybe we can find a way.
Okay. Yeah, no. You would really do that. That's really very kind of you. I was not even a thought in my mind. Thank you. I'm not sure.
I don't have a family, so I couldn't imagine what it feels like to lose one when you do have it.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing, but I hope that we can continue to know each other, and I will consider you my family if we're able to do this for sure. I already do, in a sense. I know Ra does, a little resilient buddy of mine. He seems to have an obsession with your teeth, by the way. Sorry about that.
It's
I'm
my
not sure how that happened.
teeth.
Yeah.
She
He wants to
needs-
give
she
you
needs
more
them.
teeth.
That's an odd thing to say.
He says you need more teeth. Probably because
How are you supposed
food.
to eat food without teeth?
Yeah, that's his question.
I mean, cat doesn't have teeth.
Cat doesn't have teeth.
She doesn't have bones either.
Hold my
Yeah,
beer.
she's made of stone.
And Ra goes looking
Ra.
for Cat.
Ra.
Cat is in front of the tent, by the way.
I mean, technically, doesn't Quinn not have teeth either? Because teeth are made
Quinn-
out of bones, and he's made out of
Right.
a tree.
I think it's different for every species. I
Yeah,
think.
So
I think
really,
Quinn's got teeth.
only Nosh has teeth.
Yeah. I know Ra doesn't have any teeth, though he likes to pretend and put like little flaming, like move
Does
his
Moss
flames.
have teeth, or is she
Mosswing
a cat?
would have teeth. Mosswing would have teeth. I'm
So
assuming.
so only the animals have teeth here.
And
Boy,
you-
Nosh, can you get your fire off of my face?
Yeah, no, sorry. Okay, hold on one second. And
I
like,
Can you just open up? I really got to do it. I got to inspect.
How badly do you want to keep him alive?
I mean, Ra,
You
come
can't
on,
kill me in
buddy.
any way that
Just
counts.
ask her to smile. Oh, don't go there, bud. No,
Say
right, Ra, come
cheese.
here. Harlow, we'll talk about this a bit later. And yes, I agree with you. Ra, come here. Get
Can
off
I-
of Cat.
Can I?
Fine.
Raw, you try that again. I'm going to eat you.
Just
Okay, well that's
Cat, sorry
fine
about
because
that.
then
Can
I'll
you
be
just
able to
smile,
see.
like open mouth smile at him.
No.
No. Okay. Well, that's fair.
I don't think she has any
That's fair.
teeth.
I'm gonna Ra. No, buddy.
fine.
Neither do you though. But you still
I know,
eat
but
everything.
but that's different.
Mm-hmm. No, it's not. Come here. Come back over here. We're gonna switch this vial and see if we can come up with a new potion on it. It's been too long and we didn't get to use the last one. And Ra's gonna pull out the vial of brain fart. Doesn't remember what it's called. Don't know where it is. Just total like.
Talking about the Ever vial.
That's it.
The
I found
vial.
it.
A vial.
I'm gonna
of
switch the Ever vial.
Vials. Okay,
Yes.
and you go ahead and roll. And
do I need to roll 100, right?
no,
Or
it's
is
a
it
D. Ooh, it's
80
a
or
it's a D140, but I've got a built-in roll table. It is. Do you see what the result is in the chat?
it says it's the Supreme Potion of Healing, which we've
There you go.
haven't
Which
had before because it's
you have not.
25.
This is
We've had
a
the
much
15.
a much better healing potion than ones you've encountered. But considering you've rolled the lesser healing, the standard healing, you're pretty confident even without sampling that it is a potion of healing of sorts.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna put that on the list if it'll save. Don't know why it won't. Make it work. I will store that away for use later because we probably might need it. And I will double check in front of the fire while I kind of like whip up some breakfast. I will double check my supplies and recipes and see if I need to change anything around real quick.
Okay. Quinn, having spent some time here identifying these scrolls, you see a familiar spell. Magic Missile is one of them. You also see there is another first level spell, Tensor's Floating Disc. There is a second level spell, Shatter. And there are 3 spells that in that divine realm. There is a Cure Wounds. There is a Shield of Faith. And there is a Spiritual Weapon.
And these are scrolls that could be used one time as well as
Yes.
inscribed by Wizard, right? All right, so remind me of the merchant's name again.
Marley.
Marley, I've had a chance to take a look at these scrolls, and I think I have a good idea of what you've got here.
Okay, do tell.
It looks like 3 of the scrolls would really be useful for someone of a clerical nature.
Okay.
These are more healing arts or someone who might study the more divine magics. Those would not be terribly useful to me. Maybe they could benefit my friend, but I don't know that they have a tremendously high value. The other 3, one of which is very well known to me, Magic Missile, can certainly help a low-level wizard to provide some damage.
You are certainly no low-level wizard.
No, again, not terribly useful to me. It could be just in a pinch. It could be a one-time use for someone other than myself. So it would have moderate value.
Okay.
And the other 2 have some moderate value as well. I'd probably put for the lot of them, maybe around 50 gold, something like that.
50 gold. Okay, that's more than I paid for them.
If you're interested, I would take these off your hands, and then, and in fact, for being so gracious, I don't know. You might be interested in these silken robes that I've acquired along the way. And I don't know if you recall, but when we were in the town with the hag, I picked up some fine silken robes.
Mm-hmm.
This might be more akin to your stock.
Wow. Scott, is Quinn intentionally lowballing the price of these scrolls?
Yes.
Okay, can you roll a deception check for me?
Dope.
Ooh.
You know what? I may rewind that.
Okay.
So out of the Chronergy book study that I did last night, I've actually acquired a new skill called Chronal Shift, which allows me once a day to effectively re-roll. So I'm going to give that a shot.
Okay.
That feels like a good thing to try that.
Theory into practice here.
And I could also guide myself here, right, with the staff.
You certainly could. It would be clear that you are using magic here.
It's a little better. I'm going to go ahead and guide as well. So we got a 12.
Do you mind if I just get a second opinion? They're not a wizard, but there's someone in these parts that knows an awful lot about magic, and they might even want the other ones, the ones that you were talking about, the clerical ones.
You certainly could, but unfortunately we're leaving. So your sale, you'd have to find someone else to buy these, which you're welcome to do. But
okay,
I've got money in hand now.
I told you I'd give you one for the appraisal. I really want to see what they have to think about at least the clerical ones that you said. Okay, 50 gold, and you can take those 3 that you liked.
So the 3, I think it's really only 2, right? It's Shatter.
Okay, well, sure, the 2.
Well, I can't spend 50 gold for 2 spells. So if for the appraisal, I'll take Tensor's floating disc off your hands. Would you
think that's fair?
Would you take 30 gold for the clerical spells and Shatter?
Oh, I really feel like I should get a second opinion, especially since you said that really wasn't your domain.
That's true. 10 gold for Shatter.
10 gold. You can see like she's doing some arithmetic. You were very helpful. Okay.
All right, very good. And I wish you all the best of luck in selling the rest of your scrolls. And I'll throw the silken robes in just because you were so kind.
All right. I will add those scrolls.
Quinn now has a scroll of kill Catriona.
Wait, what scroll did he get?
Shatter and Tensor's floating disc.
Okay. That is the scroll that could kill Catriona.
Shatter's not going to be nice.
No.
Let's make sure it doesn't get
Effigies are
anywhere near
constructs,
you.
Right? Yeah, they are both humanoid and construct, so they're affected in the same way.
Gives them disadvantage on the save.
And then I'm pretty sure she's vulnerable to the damage.
It's thunder damage, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, it's best not to cast that at Cat.
I will do my best.
I mean, it's an AoE and you're an ally, so I would also be resistant, so it would cancel out, right? That's how that works.
Wow. He's got Fireball. He's much more likely to use Fireball anyway.
True. All right, Quinn successfully acquired a couple of scrolls here. Harlowe and Nosh had your check-in. Nosh cooking. Catriona, Harlowe, anything else that you're up to this morning?
We're going to go into town.
Into Stonebridge.
Do we feel as though we need to bring this box? I'm sorry, have you relayed to the rest of the group what occurred in your dream?
Only Harlowe and I have talked about it. And the box is buried right now, is it not?
It's buried, yeah.
It sure is.
Yeah. It's in a hole with dirt over it.
Yes.
So I would probably ask Harlowe, does she want to tell
Are we all
Cat that?
like in one area talking?
Yeah.
Okay. Just
I mean, Quinn's not physically over here, but I would assume he would come back over in this direction, right, Quinn?
Sure.
I would like to go see the trial or find out when it is today, as well as trying to find Slip Switch, because I think that's pretty important. I mean, I know we have our thing, but I don't feel like, I don't know.
Should we handle the Faye situation now while we're out here and go ahead and knock that out? Or should we just
I really don't want
leave that?
to.
I don't want to either. So, Kat,
Faye
Quinn,
situation.
we had a nice, exhausting dream last night.
How was your sleep?
Yeah.
I slept like a log.
Wish I could cut you like a log sometimes. Swear to God. So
Quinn's-
that thing visited us in a dream.
It's slowly
Which-
killing us.
Yeah.
That
What,
thing.
what thing?
Well, that thing that we saved Kat from.
I wish that narrowed it down.
Yeah, there's been a
Uh,
few things.
Yeah, sorry. that
The,
should have been
the
mixed
flesh
there.
sack? The flesh
Yeah,
sack?
the flesh sacks thingy. The one that controlled them. That
Oh, the
created
thing that
them.
happened on 3 days
Yeah.
ago?
Yeah, with the lake town we were at a few days back.
Mama.
Has it been that long?
The one that
Don't
was,
say your name.
yeah, the one that was eating children.
That thing that ate children. Yeah,
So
that thing.
she's back?
Yeah, she wants that box.
What, Relton's box?
Mm-hmm.
What,
She
what does
wants
she want with that?
A
Put
new
my token on the
door.
box and place it where it is most needed.
She wants a new door and a new town to feed off of.
Why don't we just leave it buried and leave?
Because she's slowly killing us.
I'm exhausted.
Didn't
Literally.
you sleep?
I did. I'm exhausted, Quinn.
She is
If I have to hit you
slowly
upside the head,
killing us.
you're not going to get this. I will.
Nosh already tried to rectify the situation, and even though Nosh's cooking should work for this type of thing, it's
Yeah.
not,
It's not fixing
So
anything.
why don't we just give her the box then?
because she's eating people, eating
I mean,
children.
We have to
Do
think
you
about
not
it.
remember what happened?
Okay, but
So
but
it's
hang
either
on,
you
hold up.
die
So-
or people I don't know die?
hang on. But so we put her in a box, and then whoever we give that box to, she's going to eat, right?
Well,
It might be transactional. Remember the Lake Town people didn't
I don't-
realize they lost.
I have very, very small faith that it's just going to be one person.
Yeah.
She
Okay,
wants it because she's not going to be satisfied with one.
She said she was quite hungry. So
Okay, but the general principle of who we give the box to, she eats.
I mean, yes, I would
Yes.
assume
It-
so.
I wouldn't. So just like the lake town, I think wherever she has a door to, she will gain access to individuals any
Yeah.
which way. So I don't think it's safe, no matter what we do situationally with it. Does that make sense?
I just
Even if
I
we
just-
give it to, even if we would say we put the
Mhm.
token on the box, we give it to Relton, we sacrifice Relton to her, she's not going to be like, oh, thank you, all done.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's going to be an ongoing thing that
She'll just go back to eating
just-
children.
we'll just have to keep moving with the box. I mean, even if she tells
But
us
we
put the
can-
box near people that need it,
I'm
we're not going to be able to
willing-
just leave it there. We
I'm
might
not-
get called back, and I don't want to do that either. And
There's some people
What-
I wouldn't mind feeding to her, but I don't feel like that's a type of commitment I want to have.
Well, what did she tell you you had to give her to satiate her?
just
She wants a door.
yeah. so
Okay.
She
the
wants
token,
access
I think.
back. We
Yeah, the
cut her.
token gives
We
her
cut her.
access.
So
we cut her off.
Putting her token on the box
Mhm.
satiates her.
I think that's the start of it. I don't know.
But
if
what
it's a
that does
guarantee.
is that gives her a door back into this world.
yeah.
But it's one we control then.
I mean, I'm not sure. I don't think Harlowe and I know that if we were to move the token, if she suddenly wouldn't have access.
But
Do you know
we
what I
can
mean?
pick up and move the box.
Yes. Yeah, we can do that.
She's still
physically.
attached to a physical object we can carry around and
What if
bury
we
underground.
drop the box in the ocean or bury it or
Then
put it
she'll come
somewhere
for
where the
us
door
again.
won't matter?
I mean, yeah, she's
But-
still connected to
But
us.
she's connected to you because she didn't kill me, and you owe her, right? Like that's the connection.
So really, you owe us.
Well, we're getting there, but I mean,
Nice, Harlowe.
See, Nosh, I said we put cat in the box.
Yeah, we put cat in the box.
I've already gone in that box once. Okay?
Do you
Yeah, but
like
if we
my
put the-
humor? I've been working on it.
She's getting better at it. She really is. It's good.
Okay, that's what
I'm
that was.
sorry.
The
I feel
alternative
very-
is you just get more and more tired and die.
I
I
mean,
think so,
I
yeah.
don't think it's a bad idea to stick her on the box, and hopefully that means she's gonna not kill you guys immediately because we're doing what she wants, right?
Yeah, I mean, that would be the initial like, okay, go ahead and do it, and hopefully she's gonna leave us alone. There's no guarantee. I feel like.
But
With a
like
creature like this.
she's crafty. She's about deals. Just like get her to agree that if you put her token on the box to give her a door, then you don't owe her anymore.
Harlow, do you think, based on our conversation, that was? I can't really remember for sure if that would go over well with her.
She wants us to feed her. And if
Yeah.
we do not feed her, she will take from us.
That is some of what she
I
did.
believe the door is just the first. It's just the first step.
Okay.
I don't think she's going to be like, okay, thanks for giving me a door.
And then just like fuck off and never bother us again. That's not gonna happen. Because like if she runs out of people, if we drop the box somewhere and she runs out of people,
I think
there,
she's more
gonna call
tricky
us
than
back.
that. I
and
feel
make
like
us
she's
move
more
it.
tricky than that.
So we have to kill her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't really know what other option is available.
Behind every trap is a choice. Behind every door, a destiny. I don't want to do this door. I don't want to open this at all. Can we just not?
I say we think on it.
Did you get her token?
You have it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he might not have it right now, but he'll have it soon. Papa.
Papa.
Oh no, I forgot about that.
She said she would be giving it to you.
She's gonna give you a call.
Ooh.
Great.
Cat steps
She
one
said-
step away from Quinn.
For some reason, Quinn, she wanted to talk to you alone.
Mm-hmm.
We have a special bond.
That's really gross, Quinn.
Like-
As your friend, I don't appreciate you saying that.
What does
It's your
that
mommy
mean?
wife.
That Nick, that actually made my stomach hurt. As a mother, that made my stomach hurt. Disgustingly so.
Just as a human, that made me very uncomfortable.
Ooh. Tummy cramps.
We go
That's the end
pretty
of the
far.
campaign, everybody.
We go
So
pretty
if-
far on this show. That's too far. That's the
If we
line.
think we're
That's my
going
line.
to have to do something with this box, we should probably unbury it.
Okay, so
And
let's do this
Take
first.
it with
then.
us.
Oh,
Let's knock this
Do
out.
you
and then
want-
do this?
carrying this
Do you
with us
want
the
to
rest of the
unbury
night?
it if Relton's going to see it? I feel like you should keep it hidden until we decide what to do with it.
And we don't even have the token, right, Harlow? Neither you or nor I
And
have
the
it
last
yet.
place I would like to take the box in case we do token it is in the middle of the town.
Yeah.
So how far is Stonebridge from the encampment?
Oh, half a mile gets you to the
Okay. So we're not talking
West
about a
End.
day's journey or anything in between.
no.
Well, I mean, no, that sounds weird.
Go ahead. It can't be any weirder.
There's a lot of sick people in Stonebridge, right?
Mm-hmm. But we're ready, right? Are we ready to go? Because
Okay, but putting her on the box and throwing it at people we didn't like is worse.
Are you gonna yeet the box and like try and like
No,
cover
did
people
you
with
not
the door
just
to
hear
shove
what
her?
Harlowe suggested? Did
I
nobody
didn't
else
say
process
anything.
that? no one
It was
else
an
knows?
implication.
Okay. All right.
It was implied.
I would.
My thing was not worse than that. I just want to make that very clear.
That's very true.
So we should go see if there's a pocket of sick kids in Stonebridge. That's what you're suggesting.
No, not children. Like
Definitely not really.
the
Can we
type
not
of
do
guys who
children?
blow up other guys.
Hmm.
That was going to be too dark of a joke.
Were you going to, Quinn? Were you going to message Nosh's brother before we go into town,
We
Yeah,
can
you
definitely
message-
do that. Yeah.
so we can try
Real
and
quick,
find out?
because
where
I know
he
we're about
is.
to get going on this. I just want to let you guys know our cause is just, our hearts are ready, and our enemies have no idea what's coming, no matter what we end up doing. Okay, we're gonna figure this whole mama thing out. We're gonna save my brother, and we're gonna get this done.
I found that inspiring.
Thanks.
Target your people. Give them that sweet inspiration.
Wait, do I actually need to target them?
Yes.
Inspire them? Okay, hold on. My brain, how do I do it? Can I just like, is there like a thing for it? Hold on.
An inspiring leader. Yeah, you should be able to roll it.
Oh. Did it work?
I
Oh,
think
hold
she's
on, I
having
gotta
trouble
target.
targeting is the thing.
Hold shift and then just hit T over whoever you want to target.
All right, hold on. Let me just, my brain, I can do this. I have a brain. It does work. Just not always the way I want it to. Okay, so.
Quinn got it. If you target everybody, you can apply it all at once.
How do I target everybody?
Hold shift and then hover over someone and hit T, and that'll target that person.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now that makes sense. Did I get the three of us? Including
Everybody's
myself?
got temp HP.
How do I stop targeting individuals? Okay, I got it. I got it. I think.
You're good.
Maybe. Did it work? Did it do good?
Mhm.
Okay. Can we send a message to my brother?
Yeah. What would you like to say?
He can respond back to it too. Just
He
so you
can.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully
And
he's better
but
than
no one else
earlier.
can hear it except for him in his head. He might think he's going
It's
crazy though.
probably a good idea to
No.
go over. Nosh, how many more siblings do you have in this area?
Can any of them help us? Do you need to let anyone know what happened?
I don't know. I mean, I'll probably mention to Gion, but I don't know if I should wait to tell him in person. Sata is my sister. I haven't heard from her though. As far as I know, none of them are supposed to be here. I don't know why they're here. Gion mentioned
How many
it.
siblings do you have?
3.
Oh,
We're a little of 4. You should see my cousins. They're a little of 8. It's chaos at their house. Anyways, I digress.
Okay, so just the 2.
Yeah. Well,
All right.
now just 2. Now just 2 of us. There's
2
only-
more that we are not familiar with.
Yeah, Dion and Sata, my sister,
one
and my old brother.
Dion is most likely sick.
Yes, as far as Dion said, Dion is in the city sick. So I was gonna message him and say, Dion, I'm outside city. Dion said you are sick. Dion no longer with us.
Can you
Where
ask him
are
where-
you? What do I need to ask him, Harlowe, you think?
Where he is?
Where are you? So, Dion, I'm outside city. Dion said you are sick. Dion no longer with us. Attack. Where are you? Where is Sata? Let's see how many words. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 22 words. That's 22 words.
You could say "I love you" at the end.
Yes. Well, I'm not going to be able to message it.
So it's
Quinn
sound
saying
weird.
that. Well, maybe I should say Dion, Nosh. Since you're saying this, Nosh outside city, and then the rest. Dion said sick and no longer with us. Bomb attack. Where are you? Where? Tata. Nosh. Love you. How many words is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think that should work. I think I have like an extra word. What do you think, Quinn?
Yeah, that looks good. Let's see what he says.
And Quinn, as you have met Dion, this is no problem. You know who you're sending it to, and you deliver the message. And a short while after, you hear Dion's response in your head. Quinn, Sada's with Dad, shit's shit. In camp south past Grey Rock, trying to fix boat. Got to get across for cure and trial. Still okay for now.
All right, I relay that on to the rest of the party.
What is slip switch? Is like a boat across.
So where the trial is, though, there's a cure, right? And you mentioned, Harlowe, we wanted to go to the trial. You wanted to go to the trial.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad he's okay.
Wait. Is he attending the trial or is he part of the trial?
Is your brother on trial?
No, that's not what it sounded like to me. It sounded like he's trying to get across to the cure and to see the trial.
In camp past Grey Rock. What camp are we in the South Camp?
Is Grey Rock a city, a location landmark we recognize?
It's not a town or that you're familiar with. No, you're not even sure if
Camp
it is a
South,
town.
what would that be? What camp are we in right now? Do we know any distinction of this type of camp we're at right now currently?
So you are currently west of the city proper. It would be strange to describe this as a South Camp.
Okay. So maybe there's a possibility if we were to go to the south side of the city, we might find him there.
Okay.
That makes sense because he's probably south of, but like, is the city Grey Rock or is that a different
Could be a
place?
landmark
Or...
or a person. I don't know.
I don't know this area well enough to say.
Could be a
Truthfully.
bar. I don't know. Remember, what was that? East End? South End?
Yeah. So since Quinn relayed this, there's nothing else that like strikes a chord with Nosh from what he said, other than my sister's with my dad, which is a good thing. But Nick, is there anything that?
No, nothing that means anything like secret to you or anything like that.
Okay. So do you guys want to try that lead first to see if we can get south side of the city, and then if not, we'll try and get to the trial.
Circumnavigate the city towards the south.
Yeah.
See if you find another camp.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
He's trying to fix a boat. We could help him. And if that's not viable, we could try and find out what slip switches and find a way to get him across.
Yeah,
For
and he
sure.
might know more about the situation as well.
Yeah.
Worth a shot.
Nick, the encampment that we're in, does this look like it's relatively permanent? People here would stay for a while, or do they pick up and move pretty?
This, in your conversations that you had with Mud, this is very much not a permanent encampment. This really is here because of the influx of people that are trying to get into the city for whatever reason, but wanting to stay away from the west side, which is experiencing this shalebind sickness.
What's the city we're trying to get into?
Stonebridge.
Thank you. That's what I thought. I just had to ask because my brain was like
Stonebridge East.
east.
Can we?
That's where you're trying to get.
Looking at the map, can we see if there's a landmark that we could be called Grey Rock, or like something with that like divide?
Oh, it's actually labeled here, right?
Or just like is it a bigger place outside of the city?
Like as you're looking at like that map that you found of like that is it shows Stonebridge as like a dot on the map, and so you're not seeing anything that's obviously like, oh, here's a mountain that's probably Grey Rock.
We can't zoom in like Google Maps, guys. We can do it. Come on. Move your fingers. It's fine. I don't know what that is.
Nick, I'm gonna take I have a playing card deck. I'm gonna take one card out of the deck, and I'm gonna put it in the dirt just above where the box is.
Okay.
And kind of bury it over in some dirt.
Okay.
But that card would
what
be
card?
Familiar to me. It's an ace of spades, of course.
Ace of spades.
Yeah.
All right. Buried ace of spades.
Okay.
Oh, one more thing, guys. Just to let you know, I swirled the vial again, and it's another healing potion. So if anybody needs it, I've got that plus some cakes to heal you guys up if we get in a fight. Just saying.
Excellent.
Ahead of time.
I appreciate that.
Yep. No crashing out on me, Cat. Not having it again.
So there are some other vendors here. Is anybody interested in seeing what they might have to sell, or do we want to just head off?
I'm a bit broke right now. I just lost my
Cat's
brother.
got all the money.
I don't really have anything I'm looking to buy. Also, this trial kind of feels like it's on a time limit.
Sounds good.
Southwards we go.
Okay.
Make it happen, Captain.
As you head back to just following the road into the direction of the city.
Can we?
Should we have asked some people if they knew what Grey Rock was or where it was before we left?
Yes, probably. I was going to say, can we stay like the distance from the city that we are, but we'll like circle around southwards so we're the same distance? We're not like heading towards the city.
A little off-road.
Sure.
Yes.
So you don't want to get closer to the city.
If
But
we
you
want to approach from the south.
We want to find
Okay.
the south encampment, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that
So as you were, that would like put you crossing this main road. You see that there are more vendors there that are, now that it's a little bit later in the morning, have set up shop, and they're yelling at you as you're crossing the road. Come on, come check this out. I know that you need sugar cane. You look like you have a sugar deficiency, and other people that are commenting, you know what would look good on that blockhead of yours is a hat to cover up that forehead. And others that are their individual wares. Everybody roll a perception check amid the yelling. Solid. You hear Nosh, Harlowe, maps here. Get your maps of Stonebridge. Updated as of yesterday.
Map. Nosh is
Only 2 gold apiece.
Nosh trying to get Cat. Can I have 2 gold?
Nosh, do you not have a pot to piss in here?
do you know?
I do, but I'm not using my money right now. I'm broke. I'm
Do
a
you
broke,
not- you
unhappy
don't have
fox.
any of
I
it?
lost my brother just
No.
yesterday. Can I have some gold?
Oh my god.
Why are you
that's
asking
not
Kat?
fair.
Why aren't you asking Quinn? He took all the money off the people.
Hey, your friend's the one that steals everything.
He just bought some scrolls, which means he's probably broke again.
You can have 1 gold. You get to come up with the other one.
So you won't give me 2 gold?
I gave you an answer already.
Nosh's brother just got blown up, and
Mhm.
we are extremely tired after saving your life
Mm-hmm.
multiple times.
I seem to recall multiple times I've prevented you from dying as well. Mostly by being the one that gets hit.
Nosh, we should put her in the box.
I'm thinking about putting him up right now too.
You're welcome to try, Harlowe.
Let me see.
Quinn, I need a
How
gold coin.
much?
Give me.
I flick a gold coin in your direction.
I'm gonna snatch it out of the air and march over and grab a map from the sky.
All right. Spend your 2 gold. Then you would see this. And I think now's a good time for us to take a break.
Lovely.
All right. Be back in a few.
See you soon, folks. And we're back with map in hands. Nosh, you would be able to quickly study this and very promptly find something labeled Grey Rock, but it has a handwritten X just kind of crossing out this whole, what looks like a neighborhood in the west side of Stonebridge.
Not just gonna quickly scurry back over to the others and be like, look, right there. That X. I mean, I don't know why it's X'd out.
That's where we're
but
going. Probably because it's infected.
That's what I was thinking, based on what we heard from the other people. That's a possibility. But that's Grey Rock. So where are we on here? Are we over here?
So
We're like at
uh,
6.
Are we 8
no,
or
you
3?
guys are like beyond the edge of the map at the moment.
Oh, okay. So we need to head through these fields, maybe. Or we can go all the way up the road and then take a right and go through the uptown to get to Grey Rock. Do we need to go through uptown? I don't even know what uptown is.
Nick, can you adjust the stream's view so it can see the map a little better on the stream?
Oh.
We're only seeing the bottom third of the map.
Oh, yeah, gotcha. So let's see.
So our viewer gets a sense of all the work you put into the map.
Do we have a viewer tonight?
Do we have people that love us?
Hey,
and
I
even
got
if we don't, they'll watch it later, right? We know people that'll watch it later.
I got the top fan badge, all right?
I can see that. I can see that.
You did. You beat me to
Is
it.
that better?
I got number 2.
Yep, that's great. Thank you.
You'll just have to remind me to switch it back when we decide we want to switch it back.
Not to be the problem child.
But go for it.
But you're going to be anyways.
Foundry has kicked me out and is just stuck in a reload right now. So
All right. See you later,
we're
stream.
gonna have
Cool.
Wait.
Wait. Started loading something.
Hey, I see
Wait,
you're
wait,
back
wait.
in on my end.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
we
that's
see it.
I see
news.
you here.
Okay. We'll see it. Maybe it'll work. I don't know. Just
see
keep
you in
going,
players.
and if it continues being a problem, I'll say something later.
Okay. I'm also going to just go ahead and add the map to
Is
Discord.
that
here.
a raw?
Hurrah.
Rah.
It's Ra. It's my little stuffed version of Ra. It's actually Calcifer from Studio Ghibli, but he's my Ra while he's here.
Nice.
I'm in. We're good.
Sweet. Okay, so do we want to go to Uptown, or are we gonna, you think, just cut through the field straight over to Grey Rock? Because if we go through Uptown, we might be able to figure out more about the trial, which I think is over on the East Bank. And I'm only inferring that. I don't actually know if it's over on the East Bank, so don't quote me on that.
So we're also more likely to get exposed to the disease if we're around people that are there.
Well,
Yes.
there's
that's
only
a
You
concern.
do realize none of you
One
can
of
catch
us.
it except for me.
Yes, you're who we're worried about, Nitwit.
I did prepare some stuff to detect it and to purify food and drink. So hopefully we could try and keep Nosh safe.
I'm not planning on drinking or eating anything. I don't know enough about the disease to know if it's going to be airborne or if it's going to be something that,
Like touch.
yeah.
Look, okay, not to be the
Debbie Downer?
Debbie
What's a-
Downer who
What's
says
a Debbie
the,
Downer?
I don't know. I just said it.
not to be the it means negative person, Harlow. Not to be the
So
negative
there's a
person.
woman
There's a woman named Debbie in my
Debbie.
village who was always really mean. She also
Well-
got called Karen a lot.
Okay, anyway, not to be that person, but Nosh, you
Hmm.
were just in direct contact with a lot of bodily fluids from somebody who had the disease. Because they blew
Possibility.
themselves up next to you.
He
How does-
didn't. Just,
Her
Okay.
this brother did not have it.
No,
It was
but
the guy.
there was one of the other two did.
Yeah, but I wasn't near them. I was near Guion most of the time. I'm not saying
Okay.
you're wrong. I was in the vicinity.
You
Yes.
were in the blast radius, let's put it that way.
That's fine. That's fair.
Can I take a look at Nosh?
Go for it?
Yeah. Take a
I'm
look at
gonna
that.
I'm gonna
look
put
at Nosh.
Raw on top of
I'm
Quinn's
gonna
head.
do a full on vet check on Nosh. Like
No, please don't.
Look
Don't
at
do
his
that.
tail.
look
Not
in
to
his
curl
ears,
his
check
tail
his
around
teeth.
himself and
Put-
like
Yeah.
not
put her-
let you
Put him in a
touch
cone
certain
first, so,
places.
so he doesn't bite.
And don't do
The
that.
happy
Don't do that.
hoodie.
No,
Gotta-
no, no,
I'm
no.
not suppressing any glands though. Okay?
Yeah, roll
Oh
a
my
medicine
God.
check unless you're doing something
no.
more.
No, I'm gonna guide myself as well.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, you've learned a bit about Namasi anatomy, at least Nosh anatomy. He looks as you've seen him in the past. He does look like he's a little more rigid than before, but that was
Sorry.
true
There's a lot of
before the encounter. That was coming out of the petrification,
You just had
that
to say it
lingering
that way,
effect.
didn't you? You just had to say it that way, didn't you?
Okay, but it doesn't seem
I just
like
said how it is.
there's no like goop in the eyes. There's no.
No goop in the eyes.
Yeah.
Granted,
And
you
it's
didn't
my-
see that in Slash
know.
either.
Okay.
You look fine.
Thanks, Harlow. Can you get your finger out of my ear?
You do also remember
finger.
that
You said ear, not rear, right?
Yes.
best way to check his temperature.
No. And Nosh's tail like
Just a
slides around
pinky.
him.
It's
and,
okay.
Like,
They're
curls.
very cold.
And he like steps back. Just
I don't like that you put that up to your lip.
just yeah, okay.
Turn
And
your head
Nosh is
You-
gonna
you
like
do
slide
recall-
behind Quinn and like look out for behind Quinn. And be like, "Are we done with this?" Can we
Harlow,
move
with
along?
this 21, when you were talking to Mud, one thing he did say was that one of the symptoms was tremors, and so looking for that in Nosh, he is steady.
Solid as a rock in the good way, not
Solid as a rock.
rock you were earlier.
Yeah, I don't want to be that rock again. So uptown or just head straight to Great Rock? Thanks for the checkup.
Should we
feel
be
like we should get
concerned?
to
There's
your
a
brother.
the big X over Grey Rock.
I mean,
Again, it's
Is that actually on the map?
don't we?
It is
u-
hand drawn on there.
okay.
To be fair, don't we usually look for like the worst thing and we go straight for it?
Here's the problem: we don't look
On
for
brand.
it. It just happens.
Over the last like 8 days we've been together, that has been
It's
a
not on
consistency, even when the
purpose.
time that I was knocked out.
Anytime
do
someone
seem to
says,
walk.
"Oh, there's a problem over here," and we're like, "All right, that's where we're going."
We should go in that direction. Harlow's not wrong.
Well, okay, that's fair.
And usually it ends with riches. Sometimes one of us almost dies, right?
Well, every time one of us has almost died.
Not every time.
I don't think there's been a fight that's not true.
I feel like I'm learning a lot about life.
And death ends.
And remember, Harlow, we have to have sarcasm lessons later.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Gosh, why would you do that?
And Nosh is just like full on teeth, like almost barring in a grin. Just cuz.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Maybe we could find something in the fields for you.
I think we avoid the populated areas a little bit.
I think we try to find Nasha's brother and see what we can learn.
So cut through the fields then and get to the coast because he did say he's
Like-
fixing a boat.
Mhm.
Yes,
And-
avoid 5 and 6. Go all the way around and go to 7.
And if we feel iffy, Quinn, you can always send Moss in, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you don't think the disease in any way would affect Moss? I mean, it seems to just.
No, but Moss isn't really an animal. Moss is more of a spiritual being.
But Moss
It's
likes
Quinn's-
pats.
Emotional support animal.
That's right.
She does like pats and tuna, though. Anyways,
I am something unto myself. I am not an animal, but I am kind of like an elf in that I'm quite magical and strange.
That still rhymed.
that is how
Yes.
she be.
I need to have more conversations with Moss just to keep Nick on his feet.
Just make me work.
Some DMs hate it when you just ask the name of each NPC. We've created an NPC that can only talk in riddles.
That's right.
Well, I did it to myself. Scott said it as a joke, and I was like, fuck it, it's happening.
All right, let's keep going, but like avoid 5 and 6 and go through those fields.
Well, we're
Alright.
we're
7.
down under like
We're
the
like-
O in Stonebridge, so we just go
Yeah.
straight across the fields.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
once you get a bit closer into and you clear of the road, you see in the distance ahead of you, there are trees intermixed, but it is largely farmland, mixed with like what looks like some short trees, like orchards perhaps. As you get into the thick of it, you see that there are individuals that are working these fields of wheat and these what look like fig trees and grapevines. But you also see, more so than them, are a series of small, but maybe like the size of a Cavalier King Charles dog. They're low to the ground. They have long, mossy coats of various shades, long, pointed snouts, and occasionally you'll see one burst up from the ground, flick out a long, barbed tongue, and then dive back in. Just all around particularly the grapevines and the fig trees.
What is that?
I'm not too sure.
Quinn, do you know what that is? It's like kind of reminds me of Mosswing.
Roll a nature check.
Can you describe them one more time, Nick?
Yeah, they're about like badger sized. They're really low to the ground, long mossy coats, long pointed snouts, and long barbed tongues. Quinn, you've read about these. There's like a cousin of them in the Western Concord. These are vermors. They are insectivores. They are prized by farmers for going in and eating root grubs that would otherwise harm crops.
Nice.
And so they are very much an important part of the ecosystem.
I relay that back to the party in a very elegant way.
Ahead of you, you see in a orchard of fig trees, there is an individual that drops down maybe about 50 yards away from you, long arms and swings from branch to branch, and just quickly disappears into the short canopy of a cluster of trees.
Like a
Silently.
gibbon mossy?
Like a monkey, yeah.
Like, love it.
So are you just trying to get through with zero contact with anybody?
It might be good to ask about Grey Rock as we approach it. So I would say if we can catch the attention of the monkey, let's try to introduce ourselves.
You saw where they swung into a tree. You haven't seen them emerge since.
You want to ask them some questions? Anything specific you're thinking of, Quinn?
I think we just want to understand what Grey Rock is and if we can get any sort of insight as to why it's been X'd out on this map.
All right. Give me a second. Nosh is gonna probably, like, if they haven't come out from under the tree, like they haven't swung it down or anything.
They have not.
Okay. I'll scramble up the tree or leap up the tree.
You
With
close the
Leaper.
distance. As you get close, you hear from within the tree a voice calls out, "Who goes here, brigand?"
No brigand. Just a fellow stranger passing through, looking to get some information on what's been going on around here. You have a moment?
And suddenly, very gracefully, this howler monkey Namasi woman drops down. You see that she has this beautiful golden fur with a gray-black face, clearly graying with age. She's wearing old stained coveralls, a broad straw hat. She has a cross shoulder sling where you can see it's pretty filled with figs. And she just looks at you and she says, "State your name." But you notice, well, actually, roll a perception check here, Nosh.
Wait, hold on. That's not me. Was that me? I'm supposed to.
That was you. There's something weird about her face. But what?
I thought I was in Harlowe's thing and got a +3, so that's why I guess that doesn't work. Okay.
That's saving throws.
Gotcha. Good day, ma'am. My name is Nosh. I have some questions, if you don't mind, about what's been happening around Stonebridge.
Well, I dare say I know everything about what's going on in Stonebridge, but I'm no ma'am.
Sir.
Sir, I'm not that neither. I'm Dale.
Vale?
Dale with a D.
Duh.
And as you are watching, you see very clearly this howler monkey, their mouth is not moving.
Is the language that Nosh is here, is it common or is it like in Namasi?
It is in
Specific?
common.
Okay. So we can all understand it.
Dale, why isn't your mouth moving?
My mouth is moving. You can't see my mouth. Oh. And
Why
you hear like
can't
some
you
sort
see
of
your mouth?
Is there something else on the monkey?
you hear some little
It's a
like
puppet.
adjustment, and the howler monkey reaches back behind her and pulls out a large turnip that she sets on her shoulder, and you see there is a very crude looking face on this turnip and clearly a mouth, and as it talks again you see it move. She's not me. I am Dale. This is my good buddy Screech. I speak for her.
And Dale.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Nosh is going to turn around and just kind of look back at Kat and Harlowe and Quinn, just go.
Just like very encouraging face, like nodding, like, yeah, you got it.
Friends,
soon as
do you
Nosh-
speak for them?
Yes, Nosh says very quickly.
You are the turnip of your group, I see.
Proud position
That
I
is
hold.
Yes, he
beautiful
is.
quote. You are the turnip of your group.
Yes, he
And Nosh
absolutely
is-
is.
It's going on
yeah.
t-shirts.
Nosh's ears kind of pin back and his nose kind of goes down. He goes, and like you can see it like scrunch up, and he's like, why did I have to say that? And then he goes, yes. Could you tell us a bit about the?
But they're not voiceless, are they?
No, they occasionally speak.
I see.
Is Screech voiceless?
And you see that the howler monkey lifts up her chin, and you see that telltale mark of the voiceless, the Namasi, who have either intentionally or, like your cousin, inadvertently given away information about the location of other sleeping Namasi that led to their demise.
And Nosh is gonna look to Dale and Screech and say, Dale, do you mind? And Screech, if you don't mind, one of my companions has never met one who cannot speak and would like to see that design. If you do not mind lifting up and showing your neck to them, I would appreciate it. And Nosh motions to Harlowe and says, Harlowe, come here.
Oh shit, why the fuck are you saying me? Okay, yeah, I'll come up.
Remember we had that interesting conversation about Namasi. Screech is unable to speak.
Yep, I remember that.
Screech eyes you with curiosity, but that leaves their chin up for you to examine. It's quite the thing, isn't it? But good thing that Screech found me or birthed me. I don't know precisely my origins, but as long as I have been here, Screech has been with me.
How long have you been here?
Oh, quite a few leafings.
Well, Dale, I'm sure Screech greatly appreciates you being with them.
Harlow's
Well.
questioning if the turnip is like her.
Dale, we are heading to find my brother. However, we've heard news of an Namasi illness that's been spreading. Have you heard anything that you could share with us regarding that?
You talk of the bind.
Yes.
But it's not a mossy thing. It's, well, that one ought to be worried too. And points to, well, doesn't point, but you get, I guess, yeah, it doesn't point at
It
all.
turnips in my direction.
It turnips in Quinn's direction.
Does it eyes move
Turn
to
up
Quinn,
ahead.
basically?
Yeah.
Shellbinds can affect Teora too.
Freeze.
First time in Stonebridge, I see.
Yes.
First time in Wyrdgard, but
You're awfully green, aren't you?
more gray, but
I mean, only a little bit.
Ha!
I'm very green.
Quinn, it's
So
on
we
you.
are-
very green. You're
Like half green.
well, turnips are white, right?
Ye-
I thought so.
Yeah, he's like
Now I'm-
white with some reddish, pinkish hues.
Yeah, with some green leaves on the top
I
of his
guess.
head, I'm
He's
sure.
very much the sort of turnip that traditional conventional grocery stores would have rejected for being like ugly
Mhm.
food.
Oh, so
That
he's
sounds
like
about
a
right. It
little like
makes more
brown on the
sense.
edges.
he's all like knobby. And,
Knobby in certain spaces, like looks
Yeah.
like little legs, but isn't really legs type situation.
Mhm.
I can see that. Dale, have they quarantined those over in Grey Rock?
well,
They've been
that's a
affected?
recent development, yes.
Is Grey Rock blockaded in any way, or can people still?
Well, you see the wall from here, don't you? And as you look out, you can see in the distance from what you suspect is Grey Rock is a mossy stone wall that is ringing the area.
Is that a new development, or has the wall always been there, and they just now
Well,
guard it?
The wall has always been there since Grey Rock used to be the miners' quarters, but no one's mined anything in Stonebridge in a long time. But, oh God. Long story short, the quarantine camp to the south of Grey Rock no longer accessible, and as such, they've expanded it to Grey Rock.
Ah,
Patrolled by the Green Guard, of course.
of course.
Nasty fox.
Why is it no longer accessible?
We hear tell that there was an accident the other day. It's down, like down in Zeal Rift.
It's okay. No,
And
understood.
yes, and the way down is treacherous for all but the most experienced. Screech could certainly do it if she had the desire to. Such a climber she is. And Screech just pats Dale on the head.
Who did you say Grey Rock is patrolled by?
Green Guard.
Who's the Green Guard?
Bunch of tryhards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Headed by those, like your friend there, that are quite
Oh.
literally green.
By the
What?
Grove Wardens?
Oh, yes, but they never leave the greenway, as it were. They employ Nemosi, Teora, the occasional flood touched to patrol the west side.
Are they keeping people in Grey Rock right now? Like forcibly?
Yes, they don't want it to spread.
So if we go into Grey Rock, we might not be able to get out.
You can certainly go in. I don't know why you would want to.
Dale, quick change. You haven't heard anything about a trial happening over
It's
in...
the only thing anybody can talk of.
It's on the
Not
East
that I
Bank?
talk to many besides Screech and you now that we're friends.
Would you and Screech be attending the trial, Dale, do you think?
Oh, Zeal, no.
Is it happening on the East Bank?
Of course. Where
Have
else
you
would
heard-
it be?
Have you heard any other details on the specifics of the trial?
Certainly, it will be at the Green Hollow Hall,
Mm-hmm.
which is where I believe the Grown Wardens have their shop set up. I don't know. I've never been. It's not for turnips like me.
Oh, you and Screech don't ever occasionally venture forth out that way?
How do you propose we would do it?
Screech is very mobile.
Yes, but you see, the gap between bridges is quite expansive.
How
And
do
the
they
seal
normally
rift is all
cross?
sorts of magical.
That's fair, but how do they normally cross then?
Well, that's what the Grove Wardens have done. They've constructed or conjured a temporary passage point, a bridge of
Ah.
magic that they alone control.
Of course.
Do you know if it's only one on trial or is it multiples on trial?
Well, all the buzz is the Silver John. May they die in agony. Isn't that right, Screech? And Screech kind of does a little head wobble. Neither a nod or a shake.
Thank you, Dale. I'm not sure what we'll do then.
You said your name was Foxy.
Nosh.
Nosh. I have a gift. I normally can intuit things, but I was going to get there.
No worries. It's good to have a friend in the area.
Yes, of course. And friends we are. You are welcome anytime you'd like in my satchel. It's not much, but it is enough for me.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for that. Is there any way Screech knows to communicate? Does she know sign or?
She does a bit, but since I've been in her life, which is, as far as I know, forever, I've done a good job of translating for her. We have a connection, you see.
Of course.
It
no.
transcends traditional language.
Did Screech pull you from the ground?
Well, I feel like I sprung myself from the earth. But
Can I?
she did say that there was a pot that she grew me in, I believe. But I don't know. That could just be hearsay.
So was Screech able to speak to you before?
But before
when you
what?
when you first knew that you were here?
Oh, no. Screech has lacked a voice for as long as I've known her.
Ah, so then you just were able to intuitively understand.
That was something from her youth. I have gathered. So that right, Screech, and Screech nods.
Can I do like insight to get a read on like is Screech acquiescing and like agreeing with what the turnip is saying for her, or
Yeah.
does she seem like uncomfortable with what's being said?
Yeah, go for it. I mean, hard to say. This might be probably the first voiceless you've encountered, yeah?
Probably.
Yeah, so kind of inscrutable
That's
in her
fair.
silence. But she doesn't seem like she's not like hitting him in the head or anything like that to get him to shut up or like trying to, move out of the situation.
Dale, is there
What
anything
business
else?
do you have in Grey Rock?
My brother. Visiting my brother.
Condolences.
Thank you. Hopefully we'll find him at least still
not-
with us.
That one.
What?
You said condolences.
Well, if he's in Grey Rock,
yes.
it's not a good place to be.
He's referring that the disease might be affecting my brother already.
Hmm.
I'm sure he is. If he's been in Grey Rock for any time, he is succumbing to the worst of it, in the throes of the disease.
Hopefully he's still with us well enough. We're able to get him a message, and he seems to be at least still sound mind and not completely lost to the disease. Is there anything else you can think of that's been happening or that you know that's local or rumors, anything that you would think would be good to share for us as we travel forth?
Well, I don't know how much it will interest you, but I did hear that Daphne, who tends grapevines a bit down the way, has been stealing from her master's supply.
Oh dear.
Stealing
But in
grapes.
grapes, yes. Whole bunches of them at a time. Doing what with them I couldn't fathom.
Another question. Have you heard of any Namasi or Teora getting better from the bind?
The word is there are healers on the east side with the resources necessary to perform magics of healing the West simply lacks.
How long does it take for the bind to take someone from the time in which they start the tremors?
Well, Screech, and Screech, just kind of does a mix of like kind of rudimentary signing and just kind of like body language, looking into Dale's face, and Dale says, according to Screech, it varies. It can be swift, as little as a week, but some cases are prolonged. Could take a month or more, but nobody shakes it on their own.
It always seems to take outside assistance to resolve or cure it.
Yes, and Grey Rock has been hit the hardest.
We'll have to be extra careful then as we head that direction. You guys have any other
Wise.
questions you think for Dale?
Why have those healers on the East Bank not come to lend aid?
That's a good question. Perhaps they are not so humanitarian. They care not for the lowly.
Is there no one of affluence on the west side?
None aside from those in the Greenway.
Well, thank you, Dale. It's wonderful to have made a friend and for you to help us with that information. If we should be passing by here again, we will seek you both out. But we're going to head...
Should I ride into battle? I count that you shall ride beside me. In the other way round. For we are friends, for now and forever.
Of course, Dale. Now and forever.
So we can call on you in a time of need.
Yes, but I'm largely dependent on Screech's schedule, you see.
Okay.
Of course. Well, we would want to make sure Screech would be able to come as well. We couldn't have one without the other.
You have a stout heart, little turnip.
How do you feel about battling the Fae?
The Fae. Who
Yeah.
is the Fae?
Just some lady.
Some lady. Well, I happen to believe that we ought to listen to women and believe them. Typically.
She eats children. So.
But does she eat turnips?
You know?
Yeah, I really
know
think she mixes the turnips in with the children into the soup.
Yes.
Yeah, it's quite the
She is a villain of the highest order, and I would do everything within my powers to thwart her.
We might send you a message someday to come help.
I shall heed the call.
And should you need us, please do not hesitate to call.
Gonna go into battle and slingshot a turnip at
Call Dale, quick!
Dale is the new
6 months later, he rolls in.
Deus Ex Machina is the new, like, he's the one that's gonna save us.
Mhm.
At the end of the
Deus Ex
campaign.
Machina?
Mhm.
Yes, there you go.
Never know. Okay.
All right. Shall we head on?
Screech, you really ought to get back to work.
Yes.
Yep.
Apologies for stopping you from working, of course.
Sorry,
Screech,
we
but
ought to get back to work.
You and Dale have a good day, and we will see you again sometime.
I count on it, good friend.
Good friend. And Nosh is going to start heading towards the wall that is Grey Rock.
May your leaves be broad and your roots run deep. And Screech swings off into a nearby tree and soon is gone.
Nosh, I suddenly feel bad for eating so many vegetables that you've been making.
Yeah, but that's not Dale.
Maybe
And they're
we
not.
should-
Haven't had a lot of turnips recently.
Maybe we
Radishes, yes, but no turnips.
Maybe we should stop eating vegetables.
No.
Hang on,
No.
has anyone else ever met a talking vegetable before?
No. No.
Not in that form, no. Like, I
Okay.
don't know what Dale was. I don't know
I
what
really actually don't know what he was either. That's the first time I've ever seen.
So
Yeah.
Harlowe, some things in Wyrdgard even I haven't seen before. And I've been here for a while.
I would say it's most likely due to the high concentration of zeal that comes from the zeal rift.
Yeah, but
that
it's
separates the area.
not that weird, right? I mean, you're
No, it's
statue,
pretty.
and
it's
he's a
pretty weird.
tree.
It's pretty weird.
That's fair. It's
Well,
just it's
it's-
weird because it hasn't happened often.
Mm.
That's the only reason.
It's definitely something new. Definitely something new that none of us have seen or heard of before.
But it doesn't seem bad.
Quinn quietly
No.
starts. Quinn's quietly checking his good berries to see if any of them talk.
One is developing like an eye.
And Nosh is just kind of slowly easing away from Quinn a little bit more, just like, yeah.
When I'll make you a papoose for all your baby berries.
Baby berries.
The phrasing sounds really, really wrong.
Don't eat me.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, Nosh, I know that you have opinions about the voiceless. They
The look.
they might be the only way we can learn more about whatever past Silver John connection Harlowe has.
What are you talking about?
You've told me the phrase before and told me about being called that by people who then blew
Did
themselves up in front of you. Yes.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I might have missed something, but Kat, you do realize they cannot speak.
Well, Screech
They
was
have like no real.
communicating.
I mean, yes, some of them will take the chance to learn to sign and to communicate in a rudimentary fashion. Many of them
So,
don't.
like, is there like, I don't know, is there somewhere that like more of them tend to congregate because the other Nemosi don't like them, sort of thing?
Nosh,
I
roll a
mean-
history check.
Boo. This isn't gonna go good. Nope.
Nosh, you remember hearing, and you're not sure if this is like just a cautionary tale that parents tell their children, but something called the Glade of Silence, that like parents would threaten, like, "Ooh, you better shape up or we're going to send you off to the Glade." And you have no idea if it's real, where it is, if it is, but connected to that idea of the voiceless.
So the only thing I can think of is the Glade of Silence. That, you know, Grandma and Mom used to threaten us with, even Dad occasionally. I mean, Ma and Pa, they use it as a punishment in a sense, or a fear indicator. But that's about it. I don't have a clue where it is. That's literally only like a rumor.
So, all right, not terribly.
I mean, Quinn, if you ever heard of any mention in the groves of your people where Namasi have come together like that are voiceless?
No, I what I know of the Namasi is mostly from you. I mean, the Namasi are relatively private folk.
But why? What are you thinking, Kat? Like, where's this train of thought going?
I don't know. I just Harlow is trying to learn more about herself, and it's a word that's been bandied about in relation to her.
Silver John.
Well, I heard it, so I was questioning about it.
But you haven't been called that.
Just looking for anything related. There's not a lot of leads for.
I'm sure if we
Other
get
than-
over to the East Bank, we'll probably be able to find more concrete information around that. Not sure it's going to be good information. Not sure it's going to be bad.
I don't think we've gotten good information in a long time.
No.
I mean, we met Dale. That was pretty good information.
Dale's pretty awesome. For
It was a good
Turnip.
meeting. He didn't give us any good information.
no. Do we want to head on in for a bit and maybe ask somebody else?
Sure, but I'm calling it now. We're going to have to go underground, and I don't like it.
Ooh.
Are you sure?
Well, he talked about the quarantine areas down in this mine, and we can't get past the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
We could see. Let's just get over to the area and see what we see first.
I don't know how
Alright.
keen I am knowing that my race is vulnerable to this disease. I don't know how keen I am to enter this area that is just loaded with the disease.
You were fine with Nosh going in?
No, I don't think Nosh should either, but it's her brother. It's her brother.
My brother. I think it's just. I mean, unless we just want to make for the East Bank and try to go through the Greenway. But I mean, I don't know how easy that will be in the first place.
I think we should get to your brother and try and figure out this boat situation.
That's what I was gonna. Boat where?
Probably to go across.
Maybe
it
maybe it's a flying boat. Maybe it's like the ancient Zealoid ships.
There's
fly.
flying boats.
I heard a rumor once.
That's just preposterous.
No. They said it was real. They
There's
said it. They really
flying
saw it.
boats?
Might have been a bit drunk. But
How
they
do
said
they-
it.
Do they have wings?
No. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just telling you the float
The
in
boats-
sky.
The boats were
They
flying.
float
not the
in the
people on
sky?
the boats.
The people on the boat stayed on the boat, and the boat floated around. That's what they said. Just carried people around.
Is this like one of those sarcasm
I-
things you were talking
Nope.
about?
That's nice try, but no, I'm being real.
Okay.
I don't have any proof. Just
I checked
what?
Nosh's forehead.
people.
You go back to prodding in the cat.
Okay.
I'm fine.
It's like a dog going like
Mhm.
You messed with his ear one too many times. And
Just gonna just slap the hand away and like start pacing ahead.
Okay, so Quinn and Nosh both could get very sick if we got too close. Your brother has a boat? ? So why don't we just like get to
Go
the
swim?
edge?
I don't feel like you could swim very well, Kat, though.
I don't. That's true, but I'm not that worried about walking across the bottom. It's
So
fine.
here, let's look at the map, right?
Um,
Let's look at the map real quick. So if we look at the map, we can see the wall, which we can see, and
Okay.
Nosh points it out in
Yes.
the distance, and see like there's the main entrance so that like this road seems to follow, and then there's like this cliff over here. So what if Quinn and I hang out like kind of near this cliff area, past the road, and you guys go in and see if you can find Dion and like bring him near the wall so we can talk right over the wall right there.
Okay, we could
Without
try.
us like getting near.
What
We
if
could
we
try
being
that.
distracted.
I like the idea of tunnels. Sorry, Kat, but I do like the idea of tunnels.
I don't even know if this is a Zeal Rift, right? So what is a Zeal Rift, Nick? Like, do we actually
don't even know.
Wait, okay. I think we need to see, because either way, I'm not even sure a boat is going to do us much
Well,
good.
no, yes, that's what I was just suggesting, is because we know it's your brother and he's in this camp and he has a boat somehow.
Or
Why don't we just all go to the cliff and see if we can find anywhere that looks like a boat might be set up?
Yeah.
you could get
Because then we
close.
find your
Yeah.
brother.
You could
Yeah,
get,
so let's keep, and we're
we get
walking
close.
while we're discussing this
you could
towards the
get
wall.
close, and we don't even have to go in because
Okay.
Quinn has moss, right?
Also, if needed, we can go try to find him. But I'm going to need.
It looks like me,
a-
and Nosh like
see,
motions to
that's-
his face.
No, I was about to say I'm going to need more information than he looks like you, because I do not want to just walk up to every fox Namosi in that camp and ask, "Are you Dion?"
So
Probably not a lot of us.
I've met Dion before, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm going to use minor illusion and create a portrait of Dion so that you know exactly what he looks like.
And
Looks
Nosh is
a lot
going to
like
slide
Nosh.
up next to the portion and go, you see? You see? Right here?
Who's
Has
Has a
better
little
looking?
bit stronger of a jaw than Nosh.
Me.
N-
I'm better looking.
Sure.
Sata's the prettiest of us all. And always will be.
And that is what your parents told you.
Yep. That's what they told me.
See, you look the same, but how do I tell you apart?
Do they all look
So-
the same to you? That's so racist.
That's specious.
I don't.
Quinn, roll a
There's no
perception check.
races. There's no
Oh.
races. They're all.
It's a species thing.
We're in
Um,
2024 rules. Come on, guys.
That was great.
I don't know what that was.
I mean,
for.
Quinn, you've met him, but from a distance, you're not sure you could tell them apart.
Can I tell them apart?
Kat, you can just yell Dion and see what happens.
Okay.
It's not a common name.
No,
it's
I
a
just-
family name.
Okay.
They're from the same litter.
Litter.
They're
Do you want to bring something of
Like
Nosh's
two
that,
puppies.
that he
I
would
just
recognize?
is there like a passcode or like a question
Okay,
he would only be
so
able to answer?
you could
Ooh, what
yell
was
out
his nickname?
Dion Farglade.
Okay.
Did you have a name you called him
That's
growing
just
up?
a name.
is your
That-
last
that-
name Farglade?
No, my last name's Hardbane.
Wait,
Oh,
you have
that's right.
different last names?
Right, so okay. Dion and Sata took Farglade, and that's my father's line.
Okay.
But my
Okay.
mother named me, so I am Nosh Hardbane.
Why are you different?
That was the decision that mom made and dad made.
Is that like,
special?
does that mean
Thanks,
that
somebody.
your mother loved you more?
Or your father
What-
loved you least?
No, that's rude.
That's where I was
Stop
going.
that, Raw.
No. Trying really hard not to say
I'm
that.
not saying anything. I'm just a logician.
Uh-huh.
A what?
That doesn't work.
Nick,
A
Um,
logician.
Well,
Look, no. Mom and dad said my interests were not aligned with what the Farglade clan. We don't get named right away.
Like,
it's-
from
it's-
birth, they
I'm
knew
just
that.
learning.
yes. Yes. Yes.
Maybe families aren't.
We're weird. We know. I'm weird. I know.
Is it normal for Namosi parents to pick and choose their kids?
No. Usually it all depends on, I don't know. Mom said it depended on what we were interested in. And Sata, Dion, and Ian all were interested in fighting and becoming protectors. And they were always running after dad. And I was always with, I ran after them a lot, but I was always with mom and running around in the kitchen and running in the farms. And so when they noticed that difference, my siblings were enrolled in the Farglade trainings while I was sent to live more with mom and the Hardbane family to work on the farm. So
That's odd though, because all you've been doing is fighting and like you protect us as a
right,
group
which I
on a
mean, I
daily
learned from
basis.
dad. I learned from dad, but I lean more to wanting to be a cook and wanting to perfect
but-
the best meal. So,
Your cooking is like protecting.
well, thank you.
You
for
know,
saying that.
I always thought the family thing was just you're stuck with what you get, but that way makes it seem more logical. You can pick the ones you want.
You pick the kids you want. What?
I mean, I think it depends on the family, and I think it depends on
Right? Nosh's mum
The
wanted Nosh
kits.
because that's who she got along with, and then Nosh's dad got along with the other three, so Nosh's dad took the other three.
Don't ever let dad hear you say that. Oh.
But that's just what you said.
Well, okay. We're not named until we're a year old. And we're predominantly referred to as our father's children. So we were all
Okay.
Farglades when we were little. And then most often, dad would have named all of us. But I mean,
Oh, is it your mum only got one? Is that it?
well,
Like,
it's also
normally-
like dad, my siblings in the order that we were born, that's a lot to do with it. And then it's who's going to carry on the clan and who's going to carry on the family name. I mean, mom says she always chose our names to best fit each of our personalities.
Okay.
And mom's always said the Hardbanes are stubborn and that they will always overrule the father if they feel that a name is not appropriate. Dad never called me anything other than Nosh, but I'm sure that there were discussions on me having a name very similar to Gion and Dion.
No offense to your father's decisions, Nosh, but it seems like you're the most likely one to carry on your family out of all of your siblings.
Too soon.
Dion and Gion are the ones who. Well, I mean, it's Gion. I mean, that's Dion. Well,
But do you see what I'm saying?
yeah, that's why Gion was probably here. Gion's the oldest. Dion's second. Sato came third, and I came last, is what mom says. Not sure if that's true or not.
Sorry,
I
we
digressed.
grilled you about your last name.
And we're at the wall now, so
real quick to Harlow. I think I was wrong when I was telling you what families were earlier. That's different. So maybe discount what I said.
you get to
Okay.
choose your family too, Harlow. Don't forget that. You can choose those that you wish to be closest with.
I can choose.
Yeah. Like I consider you part of my family, even though like we're not related. This is kind of like my current
Family.
extension of what my birth family is.
You know, if I had children, I would choose all of them to be mine.
I kind of thought that's how it worked too.
I don't know. I feel like the more I learn, the more confused I get.
Yeah, it is kind of confusing.
This is easier without family nonsense.
Because I mean, like you look at Quinn's family and Quinn, you don't have parents.
Yeah.
Kind of just communal family. Oh, Scott, you
Surrounded
That's
by
right.
loners.
I have a grove,
yeah.
so we don't have the same sort of familiar relationships that the Namasi do.
I mean, I have
But
a clan,
but it's almost like you have like a million moms and dads who all look out for you.
Maybe less than 1 million. So in
I
the
would
grove, we
say-
have, my grove had several hundred. But-
Whoa.
I would say the clans have a lot of people that look out for each other,
Mm-hmm.
but there's individual families all throughout.
This issue, like with if we find out, Dion has Shieldmine or whatever. Would your clan be involved in trying to get him help, or is it kind of he's out on his own right now?
Well, see, Dion and Gian aren't actually supposed to be. I don't know why they're here.
Okay.
Because as far as I recall, Dion, Gian, and Sato were all assigned patrols in the Greenwood.
Way back home, right?
Yeah, they're back home following and patrolling. And they had different teams. It's like a whole thing.
So,
I never joined up with that. That was all them. They all were so gung-ho about
So them being all the way down here is off.
It's really weird. It's
okay,
very
Nosh.
not normal. Not normal, that's not the right word.
They were all patrolling. What were they assigned to protect from?
From a little bit of everything. Because we get so many different things. There's creatures within that attack. They protect the towns. There's also just different parties that go out and scavenge, and they're training all the time to make sure the travel lanes are safe from thieves and bandits.
Is that
especially
is there
voiceless who
something-
band together to try and get supplies because they're most of the time ostracized.
So is like the voiceless the big thing
No.
that maybe your clan would send people against?
No, not necessarily. I think many people feel pity for the voiceless. What we really send, and Nick, you're gonna have to help me remember. What's the name of those who hunt?
Silverjohns.
Children.
The Silver John is what I hear the most from my siblings that they
So
fight if they
they
come
might
around.
be here for this trial.
I mean, yeah, there's a chance that they came to confirm and get more information around that, but neither of them have mentioned any of that. And the fact that Gian got wrapped up in some sort of suicide bombing explosion mission is it's weird. It doesn't make any sense that he
Well,
would
didn't
even
it-
get
didn't
involved
your
with that.
Brother say he has to get across for both finding a cure, but also for the trial. So maybe he's involved in the trial, and he was here for the issue, and then somehow got the shale binds while he was here.
That's a possibility. I mean, I could jump to a number of conclusions, but I don't have enough information on what either of them are doing here. That's why I need to talk to Dion. Dion was in such a compromised position, there wasn't any way to even have a conversation on what was really going on.
Okay.
So
One
should we head
last,
Yeah.
one last question. You said that your brother told you that your sister was with your dad.
Mhm.
Is your dad around here, or
Well, as far as I know, Dad's the clan leader and should be protecting, unless he was sent here as Quinn. What would be the word? Like emissary or like representative, ambassador in a
could be.
sense. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what politics have been going on since I left. I haven't been gone that long, but I didn't hear anything. Ma didn't say anything where I went off to meet up with Quinn. So, and no one sent me a message about it. I mean, they know I'm wandering and what I'm doing. So
okay,
they never really worried, but I am full grown. So
this trial might be the best answer source for us.
I think for all of us, I definitely could highlight some information. But should we go further down the way to the end of the wall to the
For
break in
both-
this gorge,
Sure.
whatever this is?
Let's look
I think
over
this
the
would be a good spot for us to take another break, and then we'll pick up now that you've had time to walk through the farmland and toward the Zeal Rift, whatever that is.
All
What's
right. Be back in a minute.
You back?
And we're back. So as you've approached the edge of the Zeal Rift here, you've noticed along the way that patrolling along this wall that is about 6 to 8 feet varies, but there are dozens of individuals dressed in similar uniforms, prominently wearing green tabards. That must be those green guards that Dale mentioned before. Seems clearly that they are intending to keep people in, but you also have not noticed anybody cross over either direction this wall. And as far as you can tell, there's just this one entrance that's marked on the map. But that's something that, you would be able to notice and either go closer to it or avoid as your heart's content.
Right. Because we're trying to avoid people to avoid Nosh and Quinn getting sick.
You would also see that the people that are patrolling the wall, each is wearing a visored helmet.
They have hazmat suits on.
Well, I'm like armor helmet, but what's
Do you
beneath
recognize the armor? Like, is it like?
It looks like it's like not like high quality plate mail or anything like that, but just kind of standard issue for a peacekeeping force.
Okay. As we're walking past, can I figure out their patrol schedule or how frequently they go past a certain area?
I wonder if they care if Effigians go in, right? If Effigians can't catch the disease.
Fair enough. Catriona, with your military background, you've been on many a patrol, assigned people to patrol. You would have an insight that maybe others might lack. So yeah, go ahead and make a either perception check or an intelligence check with advantage.
Well, no. Intelligence.
Guidance.
Okay, I'll take it.
Oh, she gonna need it. Okay. There does seem to be consistency in terms of like how far apart individuals are spaced. And you see that there are people walking in both directions along the wall. as you're trying to like time things out, you notice that no one's ever going longer than a minute of like, it's a pretty constant movement without crossing paths with another green guard.
Okay.
And continuing to steer clear of that, you're able to get past this road here. You see that there are a smattering of buildings alongside it, but this far to the south, it is relatively unpopulated, especially given the proximity here to Grey Rock. But you're able to get all the way to the edge here if you so choose.
I'd like to get up to the edge and then like look to the left and right to see if I see any like boats or anything that's along the edge, or an area where like there's a dock of some kind sticking out.
Gotcha. And so as you approach the what you were told is the Zeal Rift and what your map labels as such, you see this deep ravine, and it's impossible staring into it to tell how deep it even goes. The air is just filled with a swirl of colors and vapors, clouds that shimmer and shift and create a semi-opaque barrier that you lose your visibility much sooner than you would if you were just staring into an open gulch or canyon. But you can track as you're like standing on the edge trying to look down just the rock face. It is very sheer. And you can see a couple 100 feet before your visibility is lost in the Zeal Rift.
Can I pick up a stone and just kind of toss it and see, like, does it, because we're used to the caves.
Certainly.
And see, like, does it slow as it falls, or does it just start plummeting, or does it like have a small amount of buoyance before it seems like it breaks, almost like if there was a film on top of water?
Perfect.
You know what I mean?
You throw a rock. How far out you throwing, or are you just dropping?
I'm going to take more than one. I'll probably like drop one and then kind of toss one a little further to see what happens, if there's a difference between the two.
You toss a rock, drop a rock, and they seem to disappear and fall at a rate that you would expect. Nothing weird going on with them as you do.
Nothing of note stands out, basically. It's just like if you
Correct.
throw a normal rock. Okay. Do I see anything?
They disappear into the opacity of this rift.
Hey, cat, don't step off the edge.
I wasn't planning to.
Great.
But thanks.
Just making sure. You're going to plummet way faster than any of the rest of us, probably. Does anybody see any boats or anything?
So, Moss, would you mind just flying down the coast a bit and see what you see? See if you notice anybody that looks like they're trying to launch any sort of craft, or and certainly,
would you like me to go into the camp where the people are sick?
I don't think you'll catch it. So what I would say is fly along the cliff edge.
Fly high-ish. Fly high-ish.
Yeah, and see if you can see anything that could possibly be DI.
Visible, right?
No.
Oh.
She can sense invisibility, but she can't be invisible.
Could you have her fly low so she's under the cliff height?
Yeah, I'm just scared of someone seeing her.
Sure.
And also, if someone's going to launch something, it would be probably from farther down.
Oh.
Should I hug the wall? I haven't really risk of fall.
Yeah, why don't you do that? So stay out of sight of anyone that's at ground level, and see if you can spot anything that might be actually lower than the ground itself. The ground that we're standing at.
Is it rude to ask Moss to go into the fog?
I'm a little afraid that we'll waste some time if she doesn't survive that by me having to bring her back. So I'd prefer to just have her scout where we know it's safe. And I would say, Moss, if it feels as though you're putting yourself in danger, don't turn around and come back.
Of course.
And when you get back, we'd like to hear a very verbose speak for at least 5 or 10 minutes on exactly what you saw.
Okay.
In your normal cadence.
As you wish, my funny friends. I am stuck this way until the end. Or unless another hag comes our way. But that is perhaps a tale for another day. And Moss dips over the edge, and almost immediately you hear just a loud yip come from her. And she comes screaming back up and she says, "There is chaos in my mind. There, another way I think we must find. This is not the way. This is not the way.
I'll swing. You okay?
Magic here is strange indeed.
I don't think
As
you
if
should
you
have
would
sent her
send me
there.
to feed for some beast of force of nature that is full of dread. I fear that if I go, I will be dead. Send me not again, Quinn.
I won't. I won't. So that was when she entered into the fog?
Yes. Even
Right.
just, dipping over the edge there, it seemed to have this effect on her.
Well, that was.
I'm going to just kind of take her into my arms and just stroke her head for a while. Calm her nerves.
Psst. Y'all thinking of jumping?
Oh shit!
You turn around and you see behind you with their hands in their pockets is a flood-touched man. He's wearing a high-collared jacket, pretty grubby condition. His eyes are like a bright purple. His veins are like a soft pink beneath his skin. It itself has a tinge of gray. Wouldn't do it if I were you. Might not make it back.
Have you jumped before?
Fuck no. But I've heard tale of people what get sick do it from time to time. End it before it's too late. Before they ship them off down to the camp.
And what? They just kill them at this camp, or?
I mean, it's a death sentence. You're sick. You're down, way down. I don't know what goes on there, but I don't want to find out. You stick around the edge, you just might. Turns around and just starts walking away.
Why are you so close to the camp?
Got nowhere else to be.
You just really want to be near a bunch of sick people.
Not a bunch of sick people. Just one who might be sick, might not. I don't know. She only been there for a minute.
Oh.
Is that a friend of yours?
What's her name?
Her name's Nunya.
That's not.
None your business.
Yeah, you met her?
Yeah, I have a distant relation that has a very similar name.
Nosh, you're not helping the all Namosi know each other thing. You're
I ain't
really not.
Namosi. She
You
ain't
know
neither.
Namasi?
No, but if she has
Is
Shale by,
she
I'm assuming she does.
Aora?
Nah, she like me.
Flood
Can
touch
you
can get
get-
Shellbine?
Far as I know, everybody can.
Oh.
Well,
Everyone?
that's news.
Have you seen an Effigian?
I haven't seen an Effigian in Stonebridge. I don't know if there are any. You're kind of strange in these parts, friend.
Checks out.
You know that they're the ones that blew up the bridge in the first place.
Thanks, Kat.
Might have
You're
heard
welcome.
that rumor. Wasn't going to
So
mention it.
everything's Effigien's faults.
No.
Well, this particular instance, yeah.
Anything
I was
useful?
never stationed here. Okay.
Oh yeah, like I'm not like trying to crucify you or nothing for that. Just saying, if like the people that came before you hadn't done what they did, then we wouldn't all be stuck over here and
Yeah,
people could get
look,
across.
friend of none
No
yet.
problem.
Do you have anything helpful you could share with us about what's going on in Grey Rock? Since you have a friend in there.
It's fucking war crimes, as far as I can tell.
Oh.
Locking
So just
people down.
anarchy, chaos.
No, I mean, you got good, hardworking folk in there that are just stuck.
Because they're
And
sick.
not even.
So they're not sick. Not everybody.
Most of the people in Grey Rock aren't even sick.
Oh, they just locked down the whole town.
Yeah, because you go down south, there's a passageway, a safe one down to the quarantine camp on
Uh-huh.
the shore. You guys are new in town?
Maybe.
Yeah,
Most
clearly.
likely, yeah.
You guys are as green as I've seen.
What?
We're not green.
Did you have a name?
Why
Agreed.
does everyone
Friend.
keep calling us green?
It means lack
You
of
walk around like
experience.
the green guard where you got a little stick up your butt, and no offense, and just like you don't know how to act. Like you just
We're
your
from out
head
of
whipping
town.
around
How about
like,
that?
oh, what's that? What's that?
It's called from being from out of town.
It's
not
called
having ever
gawking,
been here.
and you got to fix yourselves.
Or what?
Oh, I mean, I don't know.
Hmm.
I'm not like trying to threaten you myself. I'm just saying,
we're
like,
not.
you stick out like a sore thumb. 4 sore thumbs.
He's got a point.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have to say it.
Sorry, did you have a name, friend?
Sure did.
Can we possibly be privy to it?
It feels like you really want to talk to us, but you're kind of just being rude about it.
Look, I thought y'all were going to jump. I was trying to get you to stop. It seems like I've done my job. I'm just on my way. And continues walking away from you.
You're
Harlowe,
saying
what
you
was the
care.
name of? Hang on, Harlowe. What was the name of the group or whatever that could find the back door?
Oh. Sorry, I wrote it down. The slip switch.
Thank you. Matilda couldn't remember it. Sorry.
Yeah, you asked me and I immediately blanked.
Yeah, yep.
Shit, if you're looking for a switch, you're in the wrong part of town.
But you seem like the person who would know where to find them.
If you're looking for a switch,
Nosy and in other people's business for fun.
if you're looking for a switch, go to the Beehive.
What is a switch?
A beehive, a brothel.
No, Beehive was on the map.
There used to be a brothel there.
Is that
Yeah,
what you're
3.
referring to?
There's a spot on the map called the Beehive.
Well, in fairness, there's a space on the map that's to the Beehive.
Well, fair. Sorry.
So what is a switch?
Slip switch? I don't know where they get their name. I haven't been here long enough to know. But I don't know. They're people. They know the ins and outs of these cliffs better than anybody.
Mm.
You said you were looking for a back door?
Possibly.
Is that code for something?
It's code for we want to try and get someone
It
out,
could be.
and we want to get to the other side.
Well, that's 2 different things, isn't it?
Yeah. We really want to get to the other side, but we've kind of been sidetracked because we might need to get someone out of Grey Rock.
Well, if you figure out how to do that, you let me know.
Well, if we do, you want to tell us who else we might try to get out? If
Her
we're
name's-
successful.
Her name's Divinity.
Not Affinity?
No. That's my cousin.
Doesn't seem like that would stop you.
What the hell's that supposed to mean?
Sorry, I'm learning sarcasm.
She doesn't understand family relations either. It's complicated.
Do you have parents?
I don't think
I
we
have
should be
You've
discussing
got
anything
just
more
us,
with this
Okay.
Do you have
new
children?
individual.
Do I have children?
Yeah.
Do you want to jump off the edge of
Yes.
this cliff?
You have children?
Well, I used to.
Was Divinity the mother of your children?
Oh, no. That was another lifetime.
Oh, because
I
you're...
was a different man.
Oh, yeah, because you're...
Flood touch.
I think
We're all touched by the flood in one way or another, ain't we?
In some form or fashion.
Anywho, I need a smoke and I need a drink. Unless you got both of those, I'm a skedaddle.
Like a little
no,
bit of
they-
a party.
Nah, we're
Hang
not
on,
sharing our
who-
party.
who can we tell Divinity that sent us to help?
Oh,
her?
yeah.
Just tell her her man's waiting
Oh,
for her.
Well, which
Oh
one?
my God.
You funny.
You said man's.
Her man is.
Oh,
It's called a contraction.
those are new.
Can we really stop talking to him? Like, we're really just ready to punch him in the face.
I'm really enjoying the character though.
Me too.
Good.
Okay.
I really just want to march in there right now.
Yeah, whatever. And
I didn't ask for your opinion. Get walking.
I've been trying to. Y'all keep talking to me.
I ain't talking to you.
I
You
got
just
something called
keep talking,
manners.
though.
Someone talks to me, I respond.
I'm
Man.
sure you think you do.
He's like 100 feet away from you at this point, just like shouting over his shoulder.
Kat refuses to give up. Every 10 feet, she says something else to see how long he will respond to it.
And eventually you just hear, what? And then
Do you have your
It's eventually-
mom's last name or your dad's last name?
Which of your children
Harlowe.
did you choose?
Which of your parents liked you most?
Okay. You
the
guys.
last names is for the fur and feather folks that ain't fly with the flood touched.
All right. Can we talk about how we're going to get in here to find my brother?
Well, sounds like we should go to the beehive to find
Beehive.
the
can we
slip
just-
switch.
Can we
Because it
just-
sounds like the slip switch could get in and out.
He
Possibly.
also said something kind of quietly that there was another safe passage south to get into the quarantine camp.
Should we walk around the other side of the wall?
Hell yeah. I got my walking shoes on.
All right. Let's venture forth.
So you're going back the way you came?
I guess
south?
we're going what, like over here? Let's see.
Circling around the wall.
You can certainly do that.
As we do, can we tell the species of all the green guards?
You can roll an insight check because as they are wearing these masks, that does obfuscate, or not masks, but helms.
Guidance.
You do occasionally see like a telltale sign, like a tail sticking out of the back of someone's uniform, or like a little bit of a balloon peeking out. Some are inscrutable, but it looks like it's Nemasi and Teora from what you can tell. Maybe some flood touched are in there.
Why would the guards be people that could get sick?
What if they're just making people sick?
This feels like a giant trap.
We love traps, though.
Don't you?
I just
Well.
it
Remember what I said.
it's like forced labor, maybe because they're taken to a mine.
Mm.
Behind every
Well,
trap's a choice, guys. So
Who stands to gain? Right, it's the Grove Wardens who have set up the one and
Yeah.
only passage across.
Right.
right.
So what you're saying is we should just take out all the Grove Wardens.
We should give them a box.
That's where I was going.
As you continue south, you're able to see where the wall, it's off the map here, but where that would end. And just making, this rough semicircle along the cliffside.
Do we see any entrances or any easy access points as we walked around this wall?
In terms of like trying to slip in?
Yeah.
Like you see spots where like the wall is a little bit lower where you definitely could get over. It's just a matter of could you do it without being seen by, if you're trying to go for, not being clocked by the green guard.
Is the watch consistency the same the whole way around?
It does seem that like the farther south you get, that it's a little bit longer in between those passing points, but it is still pretty consistent.
Right. I don't think a secret passage in would be right next to the wall. It might take some looking.
I just don't want to leave Dion in there without physically seeing him. But
Hello.
He
Can you
did
hear
say
me?
he was okay for now. Yeah, Nick was responding to the knocking.
oh,
Sounded
sorry.
like someone was at the door.
Sorry, that was me knocking on my desk. So sorry, I didn't realize the mic was picking that up. So yeah, I know he said he was okay, Quinn. I just don't.
Could Raw find him?
Rod, do you remember what Dion looks like?
Of course. He looks
What does he
nothing
look
like you. He's like you, but his face is wider, he's a little bit taller, his fur is slightly more my color, and his teeth, my God, his teeth are so pristine.
Yeah, right. He's always had a really good smile.
Ra's got such a fetish. I love it.
We covet what we lack, Quinn.
Uh-huh.
What if you send Raw and
Mossing?
Raw wouldn't be affected, I have no doubt, by
But-
anything.
Raw can't fly or anything, right?
No.
But I can
He's-
squeeze.
He's
Well,
very easily able
He
to
could,
squeeze through
he
a
could
crack.
ride Mosswing.
Yeah.
We've done it before. Remember the pond with the dead effigy?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
that's been
I was a
Seems like
torchlight.
forever ago. Yeah.
Imagine Raw and Dale riding Mosswing into battle.
That's brilliant. But Mosswing, are you feeling up for that? Just flying over and then
Well, in the
quickly dropping
camp,
Raw off?
because
Yeah,
there's
you
no
wouldn't-
mist
Not in the
camp.
fog.
In the camp I will go, but over the edge of the cliff is a no.
Yes, that's fine. If you'll just help Raw find Dion and get a message. Raw, just ask him what we can do to help, little buddy. And
May
ping
I?
me. Ping me, Raw. Remember how we did that? Just let me know if you need something. If you're too
Or
far
just-
away, it's okay.
Tell Mosswing if she's close enough, she can speak to me.
I should be able to speak to Raw that way too, right?
Hmm?
Okay.
Can you like be in them? Like watch what they're watching?
No. Wait, we
Yeah, you
can?
do that. Yeah, I mean, you cast him through Find Familiar, so
Yeah, that's fair.
your mechanical connections with the two are the same.
Here, we
Okay.
can put Quinn on Cat's back. and then we can keep walking. And then Quinn.
I can be seeing what is there. There's a limited range for that, though, right?
Yeah,
It's
that's 100
1,000.
feet.
Oh, it's
100
100?
feet.
Yeah.
So, Mosswing Rock, why don't you guys circle out and see if you can find him, and then come back and let us know how far away they are. Or how?
Gee up, Moss, gee up. And Moss with Ra on her back takes to the sky, just dipping over the wall. And you're able to see through their senses. And I imagine you're still keeping some distance between you and the wall, right?
Yeah, we're
not just standing right up against it.
So that's
over.
going to inherently limit your range here. But you would see that beyond the wall, there are permanent and temporary structures, tents and shacks. It looks like a pretty populated, but also like kind of depressed area, economically speaking, in that there doesn't seem to be a lot going on. You see people that are just out like on their porches or in front of their tents, just kind of sitting about. Some of them wear masks, others do not. But beyond that, a lot of people seem to be indoors. As you know, to whatever extent that might be. But one thing that you would spot as Moss and Ra kind of scan the area is what must be the mines. It is not, however, tunnels. It is a pit.
So from what I've seen, I described that to Harlowe and Catriona. I presume Nosh is also looking through the eyes of Ra.
Sounds like it.
That sounds so epic, through the eyes of Ra.
It does indeed.
I'm
The
not
world
going
seems
underground
just a little
again.
bit brighter.
It's not really underground. It's more like a ditch. It's a big ditch.
I don't think that makes it any better.
I don't believe you, Quinn.
I'm going to use a little minor illusion to paint the picture of what I'm seeing of the mines.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's honestly surprisingly small, and it's not. You don't see people milling about at this mine. You don't hear the sound of work. You don't see people like in the pits digging or mining in any capacity. It seems. Well, I guess roll a perception check. It almost feels like it's abandoned.
Should have a +3 to that since you're next to me. If you're looking through her.
So why do we care about the mines?
That's where they're funneling all the sick people.
I thought that's where they took them away from. They came from the mine area into now.
No, the mine is in the quarantine. That's where the mine is, right?
Correct. Because
Mine is in Grey Rock.
Grey Rock
which
is
is
an old
now the
mining.
quarantine.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Is the mine where there was an incident and that's why they moved people away?
Even Dale said that the mines haven't been used in quite a long time.
Do we know what they're mining for?
Maybe Grey Rock.
That's a really smart deduction there, Harlowe.
Well,
I
Kat
mean-
looks at her arm. She's like, well,
To build the bridge with.
so there's different kinds?
I don't know.
This all feels really shady to me. our mysterious friend mentioned a clean entrance from the south into the quarantine. We could try that. We can look for it. He also mentioned that slip switch over the beehive. We could look for that.
I think I could get us into the quarantine through this wall if that's really the issue. But what do we need to do when we're in there? I mean, in theory, we're putting all of ourselves at risk, right? It may be that it's contagious for everyone.
We need to find Nosh's brother and get across the rift.
So if we find a way to get across the rift, it looks like the quarantine actually goes right up to the cliff edge. Would it be possible for us, assuming that there's some sort of a craft that can get across the rift, that we could go pick him up on the way?
Hopefully the guards don't have ranged weapons. If they're really intent on people staying in.
Well, we wouldn't be bringing them out into the western side of Stonebridge. We'd be taking them across the rift, right, to look for a healer.
But that's like the whole thing they're trying to stop. Is infected people getting across.
Sure is. And poor people getting across.
So what do we think we're going to do with Nosh's brother if we find him?
I'm sorry, what you're gonna do with Dion?
I mean,
That,
are we going
that
to
didn't
take
come
him?
out, Quinn.
Well, we gotta
That didn't
find
come out
Dion
right.
because he said he was working on fixing a boat. So why would he have a boat for just? It has to be a flying boat, right?
Possibility.
One would
Because
think.
this isn't water, right?
Some
Or
sort
magic
of
boat.
zeal craft that could go on the fog.
It has to be because
I
why
don't know.
else would he have a boat here when there's no water?
It's a good point.
So maybe if we find him in the camp, and then we can somehow get his
Maybe.
boat up and running, and then we can go across with him. So we're gonna probably have to sneak into this camp.
Can we try and talk to him again before we climb into the camp?
Unfortunately, we won't be able to until tomorrow.
Oh,
Moss and Roll can't find him.
If we can find Moss, or if Moss and Ra can find him, then sure, we can talk
How
to
long
him.
has it been since they've been out of communication?
Oh, Dion and Quinn?
Now Moss and Ra.
No, Moss and Ra, because we lost their communication
Oh,
after they flew.
I figured they were staying within your range.
Well, I
think-
did ask Ra to find Dion, so if he doesn't
Oh,
find him within the
yeah.
range, he would certainly extend out further to try
Gotcha.
and find, because that was a primary thing. So he'd probably say, "I
Then-
didn't find him in the range, and I'm going further out. We'll come
Okay.
back to talk." You know.
Sure. Then they've been at least 10 minutes gone.
Okay.
well, we can just sit down and wait. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm waiting for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just there's a lot of puzzle pieces right now, because if all of the quarantine are like down in the mine in a sense, like that was where the camp is of where they put them originally, and then this just got quarantined because that area got too full. Like, who's making these decisions? Like, what?
The
I mean, yes, we could say the Grove Guardians. What are they called again?
Grove
Quinn?
Grove
Wardens,
Wardens.
Or
because
Wardens.
they're in charge of the Green Guard.
Did we even, Quinn? Did you even realize the Grove Wardens were in charge of Stonebridge?
No,
Like
this was clearly an opportunistic venture for some subgroup of the Grove Wardens. It's not surprising.
No, but it's a little uncomfortable to realize that that's what's been going on.
Especially considering it's Relton. Not all Grove Wardens are like Relton.
Shits. Little shits.
Why does he anger you so?
Let us count the ways.
So the last time we ran into Relton, he was in the process of trying to effectively deforest my entire grove. So my grove happens to be very rich in zeal oak, and he and his cadre attempted to actually abscond with what is the bulk of the actual forest around our grove. So we successfully fought them back, mostly politically, but there were some scuffles that caused, in particular, Relton and I to come at odds. The short of it is he's a dick.
Did he win those scuffles? Is that
No, I mean, but I wasn't alone. So I don't know that I could have taken him otherwise. At the time, I wasn't terribly good with magic, and certainly he can physically overpower me.
okay? So he's perfectly happy to cut down a bunch of trees.
That's what the Grove Wardens feel give them power, is the ability to sell Zeal Oak to non-Teora at the expense of the Groves.
But they're really poorly named.
The Grove Wardens?
Yeah.
It's all marketing.
Harlowe, you're not the only one kind of confused now.
You're welcome.
Nosh, I'm back.
Ra, hey.
I don't think Dion's here.
No?
We were eavesdropping. Here, should we just come back?
Yeah, come on back, buddy.
And shortly after, you see Moss and Ra reappear over the wall surreptitiously and rejoin you.
Hey,
yeah,
bud.
people were talking about the winch and how it fell into the abyss.
Mm-hmm. What else? Anything else?
Well, they said that's why they made Grey Rock into the camp, an extension of it. Because if they couldn't get down to the actual camp and send people down there, then they just had to keep them up here.
Okay, so the way they were traveling down into the camp is no longer available, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
even if we were to go in there, it wouldn't matter because we couldn't get down. Okay,
did it sound like there were some people left behind that were down in the old camp?
Oh, for sure. They didn't. I mean, the people that were there, I can't imagine that they brought them up when it was impossible to do that.
And did you get a look at where the winch was?
I did not, but they said it was to the south.
Maybe we should go to the beehive area. Maybe we should try over there to get some more information because I don't think we're going to get what we need to be over here anyways.
Well, I'm guessing Dion is effectively trapped down at the old camp with no winch to get him back up.
Yeah. Do you not want to maybe try and go save your brother?
Of course I do, but until we can bring back a cure and force the cure to go into the camp and then repair the winch to go cure them, I don't even know if it's worth it to. When can you send another message, Quinn?
Tomorrow.
I don't think we have enough time for that. All right, let's take a vote. Do we want to go over to the beehive, or do we want to just go and try and repair this and see if we can get people out or have it actively working again? Because we might be trapped in the Grey Rock area if we do this.
I'm no engineer. I don't think I can repair a winch if the people here couldn't repair it themselves. So I don't know that we've got any more means to get them out than everyone here.
Okay. Kat? Harlowe?
I don't want to go underground again, but
Yeah, I know.
it might be like the most likely way across.
That's fair. I
This
just
Zero Rift, whatever that is. I mean, it sounds like shit we've seen in the Aether Deep.
maybe we should stop by the Greenway and then go up to the Beehive just to see if we could just get patches straight across into the East Bank.
We're still going to have the issue of trying to get Dion and the others that are trapped down at the old camp back out, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think it might be a good idea to take a break here. We can at least cement a plan.
Yeah. How long have we been going tonight?
We can also just call it here for tonight. It's been 3 hours.
Might be good to
Yeah.
call it here.
The rest of
and-
the stream is just watching how long until Snatch wakes up.
I'm just going to leave OBS running.
It
and-
just-
this is
I had
hilarious.
friends do that on
Record
their
this.
stream. Oh, hi.
Hello, stranger. uh,
Doing okay over there?
Who? Me? Yeah, guys, I worked in like 100-degree heat today, and I've been
Yeah.
up for 24 hours. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
That's good.
super
I think
fair.
It's,
I'm
I think
having
it's time
like
to call it.
physical breakdown. Yeah.
She's
Yeah,
got
yeah.
ag exhaustion. So, yeah.
It's the extra hag exhaustion for her. Obviously.
it's leaching into real life.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this is a good spot to call it. And then we'll come back next week with a plan.
Gotta plan on what we're gonna do to do
Yeah.
something.
Sounds good.
All right.
Well, thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for
Yeah.
tuning in. We'll see you next time.
See you next week.